Black Compass Media back live with another one. Shout out to everybody that's out there right now. Everybody's going to see this. Everyone that's surviving this current heat wave. And I want to say big shout out to all my people out in the UK. I read somewhere only like 5% of y'all got ACs. Like, I don't know how that works, but man, salute to all of y'all, man. We in the dog days of summer. As you could tell by my voice, the Claritin is in full effect. The allergies are here. You know what I'm saying? So big shout out to y'all. But big year for hip hop, big year for battle rap and things like that. You know how we do it up here, man. Where we cover the latest, the greatest, the people that's really moving, people that's really shaping things and things like that, man. And so I think it's really important that we had this brother up here. This is somebody, an individual that we've checked in with often, right? Because you know he's candid. You know we always able to get information out of him. You know, he's been able to take a lot of risks in his current role. And I don't think that's an enviable position. A lot of people have a lot to say about what the man does, but we can't argue with results. And we're here to talk about him today. Without further ado, we have the man, the A&R extraordinaire himself, the scout, the jack of all trades. You know what I'm saying? The polarizing, I guess, right, is the accurate thing. But this is a guy I have a lot of respect for, so we're going to get to a lot of things. But without further ado, we have P from URL. What's going on, brother?
Not much, man. Who's the guy that you was just talking about?
I feel like that. Yeah, I feel like I accurately described you. I did. I do.
Where's that guy at? I'm looking for him. I don't know that guy.
Hey, P, before we get started, man, let the people know how you doing, bro.
Oh, man, I'm good, man. I'm good. Motivated, excited, how are we going to end the year? Some big things coming up that I'm excited to see, how the people going to react. That's the best part of the art to me. It's like, it's cool to put it together, but it's a whole other thing to see the reactions from the people or the things that you help put together.
Right. And I feel like one thing about URL is that every year is different. Every single year is different. And because the schedule is so intense, we don't know how things might stack up or how things may look. Middle of the year assessment, mid-year assessment. What are P's themes? What are the takeaways for this year? Yeah, I'm in my bag today, P. Yes, sir. P's mid-year assessment of state of affairs at urltv.tv.
Actually, I love it. The theme that I love the most right now is never count out the underdog. Never count out the underdog. Like, I love to see everybody win, but I love to see an underdog win most. Shout out to Nun. Nun's having a great year. Stumbles finally seem to have gotten it right. But I'm not believing it until I see him do it 2 times in a row at least.
Shit.
I don't know, man. Like, I'm excited, man. You look at the tournament. Trufo's upset of Geechee in the first round. I don't have a horse in the race, but it's good to see someone like Trufo get an opportunity like that. Had it not been for the tournament, Trufo may have never battled Geechee Gotti in his whole career.
Right.
It's because 2 paths they were on, it didn't look like they would have ever crossed anytime soon, at least. And he got that opportunity in the tournament and made the best of it. Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of that going on this year. So I love it, actually.
Heavy year, the underdog. What do you think about the elite competition? Like, you feel like they delivering on the court, or what do you think about some of the bigger cards like that you guys have had this year?
I'm impressed with those as well. I mean, you look at Danny. I mean, because we had Gnome, and then we had Any Given Sunday, and Kings vs. Queens. Those were our 3 big events so far this year. And I think we saw some great performances in all of them. I mean, you look at Tay Rock on Kings and Queens. Vixen, she did her thing too. You look at the event we just had. Look at with Easy and Goods, what they were able to do. I thought Danny and Nun definitely put on a show. Then you got Danny and Av on any given Sunday. I don't know. I'm loving it.
Okay. So it's been a good year overall and things like that. I mean, in the space of time that we've seen everything happened, matchmaking this year has been interesting. So so this weekend, right?
Yep.
I want to talk about the card for that was coming up this weekend. And
Mm-hmm.
I want to address I did see online that one of the guys at one of the battles that fell through with Truth Watson, and
Yeah.
he felt the way about it, and
Mm-hmm.
it kind of opened up an interesting conversation.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I want to talk about the card for this weekend. What is what's the motive behind that? And let's go for it. Let's go for some of the names too.
All right. So, of course, we have the Crucible now. The Crucible is designed for new talent.
Mhm.
If you look on the card for this weekend, like someone like Big Hand is on there. Big Hand's not new. And
Mhm.
don't get me wrong, like there's guys in the Crucible that are not new battle rappers. Not like they just started in the last 2 or 3 years.
Mhm.
But what we mean is like new to the brand. Big Hand is not new to URL. But of course, but because he's not new to URL, I wouldn't require him to go through the Crucible. It doesn't make any sense. It's not.
Mm.
It's pointless. We
Right.
already know he's good enough to perform here. But if we want to continue to develop, that's what this card this weekend is. It's giving up, an opportunity for people to continue to develop, to hopefully make the next step, to move on the process. Because a lot
Mhm.
of people, a lot of people focus on the finished product or when something hits their radar and don't really do the history on that person's journey.
Mm.
If you look at Easy the Block Captain, number one, he's not new to battle rap culture at all. He's been around for a while years before he came to URL.
Right.
But and then he was on URL for a while. I remember Easy having a PG in the Honeycomb Hideout. I want to say 2017.
Mhm.
Easy has PGs on URL. You know what I'm saying? From 2017, it's 2022.
Mhm.
And if you're a new fan, you might think that EG just popped up on the scene. No, he didn't. He's been bubbling for a while. But the
Right.
point that I'm making, it's cards like this weekend that help the future Easys move up the totem pole.
Mm.
Easy performed on a card called Red Dot 2. I forget what year this was. But he battled Stumbles. A lot of people don't know Stumbles and Easy have battled before on
Mhm.
URL.
I've seen a
It's on
lot of
the app.
people going back to that battle since
Yeah,
recently and stuff. So yeah.
that's one of my favorite battles. But yeah. So they performed on that card, but also on that card, what She Happens was also on that card as well.
Mhm.
And he was at the bottom of the card, the very last battle on the card.
Mhm.
But that card flew under the radar.
Right.
A lot of people understand that it takes doing those type of cards. You look at it, and I understand it's not notable names, and you go, "Oh man, it's just trash. Who wants to see this?"
Right.
Little do you know, your next Easy to Block Captain is on that card. You don't know it yet, but it's there.
Mhm.
But without that card, he doesn't get an opportunity to develop, so he can end up battling chess on Summer Madness years later.
Right. Okay. So on this card, we got King Money versus Blick, Jay Moore versus Craig Lamar, Clone versus Big Hand. We got a 2-on-2, Squeako and Young X versus Gunpowder Pat, Your Honor. Now, interesting, top to bottom, because here's one thing about URL, and I think I want you to elaborate on this. But these are guys like I've seen Jay Moore, right,
Mm-hmm.
perform at URL. It's been a little bit of time, but and
Yeah.
I've seen Big Hand as well. And so it's like, in my opinion, it doesn't seem like URL completely writes anyone off. But let's talk about that, because like these are guys who had chances, in my opinion, like Jay Moore, for instance, right? Like he's
Mm-hmm.
been around. So
Yeah.
what goes in the decision process to bring someone back or continuously bring them back, even though they haven't quite broken through yet?
So that you can have a success story like none.
Hmm.
Like I don't know, people don't get caught up. Some people get caught up in battle rap in the wins and losses. And I know I'm gonna just rub a lot of people the wrong
Let's
way
get
with
to
what I'm
this.
about to
Yeah.
say.
Yep.
But
But say it.
unfortunately, it's true. People get caught up in wins and losses, but in all actuality, that means very little, to tell you the truth. That's not what drives the culture. And not because I said so, it's because the fans said so. We got superstars in the culture that are not known for winning battles. And they're superstars. Some guys are god tier guys, and they're not known for having tons of W's on their resumes.
Right.
At the end of the day, it's about the demand to be seen, and we don't determine that. The fans determine that.
Okay, you saying this, and I already see the antennas going up, right? Because there's I understand the game from two sides. The fan in me, the person that followed battle rap since the DVD era, is like wins and losses still matter, right? And I do believe it matters. I think from a business standpoint, wins and losses are what they are, right? The battle itself, like what people are tuning into. You'll have people who lose, and I've gone like right after the event, somebody could just lose, and I'll meet somebody in the parking lot, and they'll say, "Yo, homie just lost, but I want to see him again before, anybody." You know what I mean? So
before maybe somebody who won,
who's been on a winning streak. So as fans, I think that we have to blame ourselves for that. We have to. Like, right, if this is the current state of affairs that we don't necessarily like, right?
Yeah.
Like, because
let me make this distinction too, real quick. I hate to cut you off. You have to, when you say we have to blame the fans, right? For the fans out there listening, don't take offense like P said this about the fans or Tony said this about the fans, because you got to remember, I'm a fan too.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm lumped up in that as well. I'm part of the problem as well, because I'm a fan of certain things. So I don't want anybody to feel like I'm excluding myself from that. No, I'm the same as everybody else.
Right. And so I think that there are two aspects of looking at it, right? From a business standpoint, whatever the outcome is, if I'm gonna get a movie, I'm gonna take the movie. I'm sorry. Like I just am. Like, you know what I mean? The two guys you got, okay, so, and this is a conversation that lends itself to the whole compromise narrative, but I have to but the people who generally say that, number one, don't go to events. Yes, I said it.
Well, look, one of the more common threads that you see that I don't think people pay attention to, but it's blatantly in your face. The people with the most controversial opinions are the people you see the least at the events.
That's a fact. It's a fact.
Why is that why is there a correlation? Why is it that the people with the most controversial and outspoken opinions are seen the least at events?
That's a great question. That's a great question.
Maybe one guy, two guys, three, but all of them?
It's a great question. Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Well, okay. Well, look, let's go back to this, because, all right, let me ask you this question. Do you think URL would be different if it was about wins and losses strictly? And if so, how would it be different? Would it be as successful? I guess is the question too.
That now, nobody can predict the future. Who knows? I don't think so, though. I don't think so. The people want a certain thing. It's difficult to get someone to buy something that they don't want. It's easy to get people to buy things that they are asking for.
Right. But it's like, how would the game be different? Would the game in your, like, okay, we don't have a crystal ball, but if we just say this is about wins and losses, how does that change booking? Like, because that's where people want to go. And then how do you even do that? Do you do it by consensus? You say, yo, listen, you lost this battle or whatever, like, or does that even factor in really?
It's tough to say, because coming to that conclusion, like, how do you get to the conclusion of the win and loss anyway, and to the point where people openly accept it? Because, at the end of the day, this is an opinionated art form. A lot of people want to say it's a sport. It's not a sport.
Right.
Basketball, the ball goes in the hoop. You can see it. It can't be contested. Battle rap, I like that line. Tony Bro didn't like that line. Who's right and who's wrong? Neither one of us are wrong. It's because it's your opinion, your preference. So it's tough to say. And I think that's why you really haven't seen that yet. Of course, like, we have it in Ultimate Madness. There's a lot of people that don't want to participate in Ultimate Madness just because of the clear L's. A lot of people don't even want to do
it. That clear L at the end of the year sticks. It's like a bleach stain. So when Jay Black and the whole crew gets up and they put together champion year list, or when fans put together they annual rankings, they got to count that as a clear L, even if it was what, you know what I'm saying? Let me ask you this though, because and let me step back and I'm gonna address some things. And I see the fans in here. It's 200 y'all in here right now. I'm gonna open up the lines. Y'all gonna be able to talk to us. I see there's a lot of spice for me and P today. I like that. So
as always, man.
So we're gonna talk. But do you think it's the place of the company to say or to state or to say winners and losers outside of a tournament scenario? Do you think that's the place of URL or any league to say this person definitively won? Why not?
No. It's a conflict of interest. It's a conflict of interest. Because then we would be, openly influencing the opinions of the fans. Now, do I have a personal opinion? Yes.
Right.
Do I think URL should have an opinion? No.
Right. Now, this lends itself to scenarios where you could see two battles, right? There are two guys that competed, both of them lost. But you would much rather see the one person that lost, right, over the other person that lost. So when you go to make these negotiations on these cards, does that factors into what you guys want to book? Like what goes into the criteria then? If it's just like it's not wins and losses, is it critical acclaim? What people want to see? Is it the algorithm on YouTube or Twitter? Like, yeah, like what goes into it for real?
It's actually a combination of a lot of things because everybody that's on the card is on there for 4 different purposes. Somebody might be the guy that everybody wants to see. Somebody might be the guy that we're like, okay, he's at that point he's about to cross over into superstar. Let's put him in position to give him that push. Somebody might be the guys straight out of the Crucible that are the top 2 guys, and we're like, let's give them an opportunity so we can just kind of get a litmus test and see how the fans feel about it.
Right.
So it can be a multitude of different reasons why we do it.
Okay, I get that. And the other thing that I want to bring up is, and this is kind of getting back to the whole voting thing, because I think that conversation, the voting, the wins and losses, that debate, it does drive battle rap, but that's fan stuff, right? We all fans at the end of the day. That's fan stuff. Man, the caffeine vote be making me mad because I don't know. Sometimes I see one name, I see 2 names. I like, okay, I'd ask this question. Have you guys ever run into errors with that? Are there changes going to be made on that? Like how much influence or not do you guys have over what's, voting or the like, how does that whole thing work? You know what I'm saying? Because it is still important to fans. I'm not going to downplay that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And battlers do reference it. Like, look at the margins, the victory and stuff like that. So is it like, how do you feel about the whole voting thing, or will we see improvements in that?
Yeah, everything's always a work in progress. But unfortunately, I couldn't honestly tell you a whole lot about the outcomes of the caffeine vote because me being live at the event, working the events, I'm not online. So I don't even have the option to vote. I don't get this. I'm not seeing what's being said, the chat. I don't really get to see all that because I'm working the event.
Okay.
But I do like that the voting system, even when it's not Ultimate Madness, the same voting system is still there for the people to, give their opinions. I actually think it's dope. It's funny. The fans have opinions about how to judge a battle and who they thought won, who lost, what things should count, what shouldn't count.
Right.
Like strongly opinionated and truly believe that their opinion is correct. And I'm not even saying that it's wrong at all. But then soon as we go to incorporate their opinions, then all of a sudden you can't trust the fan vote. Like, that's interesting.
That was the funniest shift. That was a funny shift. I'm not gonna lie. That was funny.
Don't trust all these people in the comments right now with all these opinions. Don't trust those people. Because they read the comments, they got it right. Everybody knows what they're talking about in the comments. So know what? How about we do this? Let's just dump all their opinions into a bowl and say the majority of the opinions went. Right. I don't think you can really get any more fair than that.
Me neither. And I think I do have a couple of ideas on how we can improve the voting, right? You can open up the voting solely to people who have voted on previous battles. So the only people voting are people who consciously watch URL, right? So if I'm on caffeine, I got a caffeine account, I got the app or whatever. It takes some integration, but I have to get to a certain level of votes before I can issue a vote. Meaning like all the judges is qualified. So like I routinely watch battles, I judge on the app and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? I've judged the last like 5 or 10 battles. Maybe you set a threshold, and only those people can vote, right? Only the people who've shown that they have interest in what's going on. So you kind of weed out the casuals, I feel like. You know what I'm saying? Nothing is perfect, but maybe if you add qualifications on who gets to vote, probably people will end up trusting it more. But I've said this, I actually think besides a few anomalies, the fan vote has been pretty damn solid. That's what I think.
I agree.
So
you know, nothing's perfect. Sometimes things are wrong sometimes, but for the most part, the fan vote has been pretty accurate for the most part. And it's not too many times that you'll see a disparity between the fan vote on caffeine, the general consensus from the fans online, just out in the atmosphere, and the app vote. Most of the time, all three of them. Like, so you'll get the fan vote that comes in on caffeine, and everybody goes, "Oh, so and so got robbed," right? But the general consensus floating in the air is the person who they said won is the person who won.
Right.
Then it comes out. Then it comes out in the app. It's a whole separate type of voting system.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The votes on the app sometimes be way different, but this is what is my caution though, and this is a common theme in battle rap. Is like you could see a battle in the moment, and because of whatever was happening in the moment, the story, whatever the case might have been, the energy could be one way. Then you go back and you watch it, you don't got any of that in your head, so now it's like, oh, you got a different outlook on it. You know what I'm saying? So I kind of attribute it to that too. So you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't think the fan vote's been that bad though. I can't name. I had one issue, well, two issues. First of all, Couture beat Clips. We ain't doing that. Second, when Twerk choked like all 3 rounds versus Casey and still got 15% of the vote, I was kind of like, okay, well,
that's crazy.
All right, well, he just got a crazy ass fan base. Let me get to something else, and this is on the back of this card, and I do want to shout out a couple of people, man. First of all, shout out to all the brothers on this card. I've seen every single one of them live at least twice. You know what I mean? And
there's some gems on there, man. Like,
oh,
there's
absolutely.
some people on there that people don't know about.
You got my boy Clone on there. You got my boy Clone on there, and I'm a big fan of Clone. I like it. I like his style. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's dope. Every time I seen him live, he was ill. Now we know Clone and Craig Lamar was wearing different jerseys at one point. You know what I'm saying? What goes in the calculation to put them on the card? And they're like, why bring them back? Like, was it a process in bringing them back? Like, what was the, you know what I mean? Because obviously we're not going to beat around the bush. We know the RBURL stuff. So, what does it take for somebody to end up coming back? Because you got Clone and Craig Lamar here.
Well, the first thing it takes is they got to want to be here. If you don't want to be here, we won't hold you here. We do contracts. I don't think you can name a single artist who said they signed a contract and couldn't get out and they wanted to be out. Not a single artist. We've been on contracts for a long time. So that's the first thing, just wanting to be here. Second thing is just belief. Like, Craig Lamar is fire, bro. Fire. Like, he's good enough to be here for sure. Clone's shown, like, Clone done a lot of work outside of URL, and he was on Initiation out in Houston. He battled out of Henny Man. They both put on. They both got this. So just showing that potential, really. And as long as like the same way as we want people to respect our business, as long as I'm gonna respect anything they got going on. So as long as they're not under a contract anywhere else, because I asked them, "Are you currently under contract?"
You asked about the contract situation. You asked about the contract situation. Okay, all right. Yeah. So, all right. So these brothers, I'm assuming that all the brothers that made the transition back over, it was a little bit of a a waiting period process, that type of thing, before they was able to actually make that happen. So do you tell that person to forego battles on the other platform before you guys get stuff settled, or how does that work?
Nope. If you're not signed here as an exclusive artist, so to do something like this at this level, I don't like I don't have to sign. Like for instance, like when Snake Eyes would set up the battle stumbles the first time. I'm saying this because you manage Snake and you know the
Sure.
business, right?
Yes.
Snake wasn't signed at that time to
He
URL,
wasn't.
but I still booked the battle. I didn't require him to be signed, right? Still booked the battle, but we booked it as like, okay, let's see what happens. Let's see how this goes. You know, things happen or whatever. But you know, Snake is a signed artist now. So, long story short, what I'm saying is, for this level of stuff, and for you know, for some people, let's just address the elephant in the room and get this out the way. Now, I'm not gonna spend a whole lot of time on this, right?
Okay.
So for the fans, there's fans in the chat right now. They're saying, okay, well, damn, Snake Eyes got to perform on URL without having to sign a URL contract. Why can't A-Ward do it? Right? Well, if you notice what I just said about the Snake Eyes, the first time we booked it, I booked it and I said, you know, let's see, right? We wanted to see something. We wanted to see how Snake would do, to see if that's what we would like to invest in, right?
Okay. Sure.
So we don't, you know, since we're only seeing, we don't require that commitment. A-Ward's different. I've been on record saying this a million times, man. A-Ward is fucking fire.
Yes.
Right? If he comes to URL, he's going to be a fucking problem. I don't need to see shit with A-Ward. Don't need to see anything. He's not auditioning. You know what I'm saying? So he comes over. Yes, we're signing him right off the bat. Require him to sign right off the bat because we're not evaluating. You know, if we're evaluating, why are we asking for such a huge commitment of signing a contract only to be evaluated?
But then that opens up the question. Then you may have other battlers who were on URL at one point and giving you work, and you've been able to say, okay, well, I was able to make my evaluation when this person was on the platform. You know, now that they off the platform, you don't have to reevaluate, right? That wouldn't make any sense if you're saying, yo, A-Ward, he's proven already, which A-Ward is dope. I mean, you know, personally, I think he should already made that move this year. But regardless of the fact, you never seen him on URL though. There's other guys that you've seen, Brooklyn Carter, you've seen Snake, you've seen other guys on URL do well. So then why would you move him up before them? Why would they have to audition in essence again? Or you know, before A-Ward, who's never been on URL, respectfully.
Because A-Ward is fucking fire. That's why.
Okay.
Because he's on a whole different level than they are. That's why.
But if you say, but the idea that, all right, let's go back. URL is different than everywhere else. Every battler has said it, right?
Yeah.
Now, personally, I don't think A-Ward would ever have any problems, but I don't know. I don't know. I've seen him. I've seen people in pressure situations get over the URL, and for whatever reason, maybe the air is different, the lights is brighter, whatever. So then, knowing that, can you really make that assessment if you know that other guys who've done shit on the platform for you before?
Like who? Let's speak specifically.
Like if you say, okay, like if I take Brooklyn Carter, for instance, right? I say Brooklyn Carter's had battles on URL. I think him and Steams, me personally, I think that's a top 5 PG like all time. Brooklyn Carter.
I agree.
So if you have to assess Carter versus A-Ward, I'm not talking about skill. I'm talking about what they've done on the platform. Hasn't Brooklyn Carter already proven himself to be able to be at URL and hang and give you a good battle?
You said it perfectly. Absolutely. He's proved that he can be on URL.
Right.
A-Ward's proven that he could be a star on URL. That's the difference.
But you haven't seen him on URL yet.
I don't think if you've been watching.
Yeah.
I don't need to. I don't need to.
So then the idea,
or even I put it this way.
So then the idea that URL is different. Okay, because there used to be this idea that once you got the URL, your ass is starting back to the back of the bus because now we were all ringers. It's all ringers here. So you not, you know what I mean? We're gonna bring you back to the, you know what I mean? You not to say we're gonna start you at 0, but you don't got no say in the pecking order here because it's different. Now, if that mantra has changed, I think that that's dope, but I find it interesting. I'm not gonna lie.
I mean, I wouldn't say it necessarily changed. I feel like it's always been here, but I think how to say it. You know, sometimes that strategy may have been implemented not due to business reasons. It might have been a little personal,
right.
for some other people, as to why it was implemented that way.
Which again, there. So okay, look, and we got 300 people in here. Shout out to all 300 of y'all right now, and shout out to my man. He said, "Good question. I appreciate compliments as well, because some of y'all killing me. That's cool. I like that." And we're gonna open up the lines as well. Y'all gonna be able to get the invite, and y'all can talk to us as well. But 300 people in here, big salute. All right. So this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna give you a few names in, right?
Yeah. Yep.
And I just want to get your assessment, because these are people that people do want to see on URL. And I guess I'll preface that by saying there's only a finite number of spots, right? Like there's only a finite number of spots, so you can't get everybody up there. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Let's start with Brooklyn Carter. Brooklyn
Yep.
Carter, dope. Number one. We go hard.
Mm-hmm.
Alumni. You know what I'm saying? I've seen Carter in smoky rooms, back alleys. Like, that motherfucker is nice. What is the issue with Brooklyn Carter? Why can't we, like, what's your assessment on him?
Definitely good enough to be here. That's why over the years, I mean, you got to think about how long ago he battled Stings. It's a long time ago.
Mm-hmm.
But you've seen Brooklyn Carter over the years, over and over and over and over again. You know, I'm not saying that he wasn't getting booked 6 times a year, 8 times a year, nothing like that. But you might see him twice one year, once the next year. Maybe the next year you didn't see him at all. Then you come back and do one. So we keep booking him.
Mm-hmm.
He's definitely good enough to be here. But we're just waiting for the breakout performance.
Okay.
Not to say that he hasn't had good ones, but I didn't say we're waiting for a good performance. I said breakout.
Right.
I think his last battle was against Presidential Dubs.
Yeah,
in which they both got busy.
They went crazy in that battle.
Yeah, they both got busy.
And you know what? And what I thought with Brooklyn was when he battled Jack Boy outside at the We Go Hard joint. I was like, oh no, he's ready. He's ready. Get him now.
Yeah.
That you know what I'm saying? So, but with him, it's just a matter of, okay, sometimes he's not as consistent. I know Carter's a little bit more like, all right, if it happens, it happens. You know what I mean?
That's another thing too. Yeah, Carter's not thirsty. He's not thirsty.
Right. Right.
He don't mind. Carter's not a guy that's emailing me and texting me and calling me all the time. You need to play. He's not that kind of guy.
Yeah.
He let the game come to him.
I respect Carter, man. All right, let's get to Saint, my man out of LA, man. LA Saint, man. What's up?
Saint?
Yeah. Oh. I can't go nowhere without nobody asking about Saint, bro. Real talk.
Saint.
Yeah.
What do I think about Saint? I think if y'all continue to pay close attention, you'll see Saint debuting on URL versus Ace Amin really soon.
Wow.
Yo, my fault. I jumped in the middle of this.
Hold on, what's up, man? On with P. He just dropped the bomb.
Yeah, I got a question, P. I got a question.
The bomb on us. So wait, hold on. I need to revisit. So Saint will be around URL. You saying Ace Amin? Shout to Ace. Welcome home.
Versus Ace Amin. Yep. Ace gets to be the welcoming party.
Wow. Ace Amin, the welcoming committee for Saint. That's fire. Polo, go ahead,
I got a question. First off, salute P. Part yourself on the tardiness and the traffic crazy. Look, Smack just did a video. He just announced he want to do a truce. Would you ever be open to doing an RBE versus URL card?
I'll be open to doing whatever my bosses say I can do. If
that's what they want to do, that's
what I'm doing.
You a boss too?
No, I'm not. I work for Smack, Beasley, and Chico. I'm an employee. I work for those guys. I'm not a boss.
Would you But okay, all right.
Okay, hold on, hold up.
Yeah, go ahead.
Would you be open to curating a card based off your new guys versus RBE's new guys?
No.
Now that is interesting. Why not? Crucible versus Bricks can't happen. Why not?
I mean, because like the Crucible is a developmental process where we're choosing who we're gonna push in their rookie year. Basically, it's like the Crucible is like summer league. You know what I'm saying? Just because you play in summer league don't mean you're gonna make a roster during the season. You know what I'm saying? So
this sounds like the brick by brick process too. I'm just be honest. It does.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Not sure what they do. Okay. But yeah, I mean, so with that we wouldn't take those guys and put them versus anybody. You know what I'm saying? Because that's summer league. You know, the NBA is not going to take the summer league players and be like, hey, we're going to go over to Great Britain and put our NBA players against. You know, nah.
But they do the world versus the international.
China versus US, like China versus Hornets. Like,
yeah, they do that. The world summer league players versus the international
Argentina
summer league
versus
players.
they do that. P.
Yeah. No, we have our own process already. We don't need to do that. It's not necessary for us. You know.
Okay.
Interesting.
That's
I don't know. It strikes me as risky. I'm gonna be honest. I think it. You know.
I mean, and just so you know, because you asked me specifically about the Crucible versus Brick by Brick, right? I would have given the same answer if you would have said any other league. It wouldn't have mattered. So it's not an RBE thing. Any other league, I would have given the same answer.
And it has nothing to do with the, like, you feel like, okay, these guys are a level higher, like the Crucible's much higher than the Brick by Brick guys. So
Absolutely
why
not.
It doesn't have anything to do with that.
No, it has everything to do with the fact that the Crucible is its own, standalone process that we use to get talent out of. You know, we're not going to take our summer league team and put them up against. That's not what that's for.
Okay, I want to revisit a question y'all said a little while ago when you said that like A-Ward wouldn't have to necessarily do a tryout battle or because he's A-Ward.
No, not necessarily. He wouldn't have to. Period.
He wouldn't. Yeah.
Yeah, he wouldn't have to. But
he would not have to. Yeah, would not.
Okay, but wouldn't that send the wrong message to like any other person that gets hot off of URL and then they feel like, hey, if A-Ward don't gotta go through this process, why the hell do I gotta go through this process?
I mean, they won't have to say that because the fans be saying it like they're saying it for A-Ward right now.
Already. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
If the battler is saying that, but the fans aren't echoing that same sentiment, then it doesn't sound very valid to me.
Okay.
You know? I can't go anywhere without hearing A-Ward's name.
That's a fact. He's definitely hot. Definitely probably one of the hottest artists that's not on URL right now. Definitely.
He is the hottest artist, not probably one of the ones. He's the hottest artist. Not on
I think Mackk Myron is pretty hot.
I was about to say Mackk Myron. I mean, you know, his brother,
which is my guy.
Okay.
I fuck with Mackk. He ain't hotter than A-Ward right now in this very minute.
I get that, but when we see Mackk over there, like Mackk is that a situation where we, you know what I mean? We may see Mackk.
As soon as I was talking to Mackk recently. Stay tuned.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Fair enough.
What do you feel about Bill Collector calling out JC in regards to like a battle with champions?
I think it's a great idea. I want to see it. JC, you put up your 100,000, let Bill put up his 100,000. Want to go home with 200K.
JC ain't doing that.
That money already earmarked for shit.
That shit gone. Oh man. Go ahead, Tom.
Well, did you okay, so we said it's Brooklyn Carter, Mackk Myron. Oh, Bankhead. What's up with Bankhead? What we doing with Bankhead?
Bankhead was on initiation. He did well. But unfortunately, he had a little incident that happened to him recently. I don't like talking about other people's business like that, so I just leave that at that. But
prayers to Bankhead too.
He's still in rotation.
He'll be back pretty soon. But we just booked him not too long ago.
Okay, that's what's up.
How hard? Oh,
go ahead, bro.
I was gonna say, because we was on the subject of Mackk Myron. How hard is it right now to get a battle for Av? Because
let's talk about that.
Tough. It's hard.
What do you think it is about Av?
What is it?
A lot of people don't want to smoke.
Oh shit.
A lot of shit sound good online, but y'all don't hear the phone calls. Yo, what's up? Yo, not much, man. Hey, got a joint for you, got a plate for you. Okay, who we talking? Av? Oh, nah, I ain't. You trying to get me killed. You trying to get me, y'all trying to line me, P.
Yo!
Y'all trying to line me up.
No, nah, son. Shout out to Av, flatline. Yo, what is it? Validated. Nah, son. They just on the phone like, nah, not Av.
Nah, P, I see what you doing. You trying to line me up.
They feel like an Av battle's a lineup, or you be trying to line them up in Virginia.
Av has been calling people out for the last 8 months.
Yo, what is that about?
So I mean, so what do people think? We think that like we see all these people calling Av out, and then we just don't pick up the phone. we you know, shout out to Swave and Anderson. We would call for Swave and Anderson, but we wouldn't call for Av and some of the people that you see him getting into it with.
Right.
No, the calls happen. You know, or they don't say, "Oh, nah, you trying to get me killed." They'd be like, "Okay, nah, that's what's up. That's what's up." Well, what the bag look like? Oh, well, we got such and such amount. Oh, nah, I mean, if you want me to stand in front of somebody like Ab, I'm gonna need at least this, which is a ridiculous number that they knew they wasn't gonna get, which prevents anybody from saying that they duck.
They price themselves out. That's the strategy.
Now, what if y'all be like one day just playing around? All right, yeah, we got that for you.
They probably go late. They probably go on stage and lay down for that.
Jesus.
Oh, okay. I ain't gonna lie. Hollow's been calling Av out.
I like it.
Yeah,
that's the only person. We got.
I like
okay.
that. I like that. I like that, and I like. Shout out to the chat. Mackk versus Av on the intro meeting. Av, jump him in. Av,
look, y'all talk to Mackk.
Mackk versus Av is a Summer Madness volume. That's one of those.
Jump him
Mackk
in.
versus Av. Fonz versus Mackk. That's another person that
that's another. It's waiting. It's right there. It's right there.
And the long-awaited Loso versus Mackk.
Them three. His three is already lined up. They already lined up.
Come on, these battles people really, really want to see.
Yeah, hell yeah.
I think Loso get crazy versus Matt. Matt.
He got to. He has no choice at this point. Like what? Like,
I ain't gonna lie. Is there any truth to the 2-on-2s? You know what I mean? It's a 2-on-2 card around the corner. Is there any truth to that?
No, not right now.
Okay. I see everybody on Twitter. You know what I mean? Just asking a little rumor mill.
I mean, we plan to do one, but it's like right now there's no meat on those bones at all. It's just an idea.
When did we see? When will we see? Like, okay, so the Crucible guys, right? Current Crucible guys. Are there plans to roll those folks out soon, or what? What do we?
Yes.
When we get the signature card for them.
Yes. Well, honestly, that was supposed to roll out last week, but we had a specific way we were going to roll it out, but the bosses went back and looked at it again and said, "Nah, we want a better rollout." So they in the process of giving them guys a better rollout, but it was ready to go.
Do you think this year's Crucible class, like, how do they compare to the previous one? The real name, Brandon, MVP, Kid Slade, so on.
Better.
They're better. They're better.
Collectively, yes.
You're saying that. So MVP, Elijah Strait, J2, Kid Slade, Anderson Burris. You're saying that the current crop of Crucible is better than those guys.
No, overall. I'm saying it. No, what I'm saying is the current crop of Crucible that we have right now. When we did all those people you just named, when we did their Crucible at the same point, this class is better at that point.
Oh, they're moving along quicker. Okay.
Yeah. Now there's more talent in phase. Like right now, we're going into phase 3. There's more talent that has been displayed so far in these guys' phase 3s than the last class phase 3.
Okay, go ahead, Polo. Go ahead.
Can I ask you? I always wanted to know this. What in your opinion? What's the best PG class?
Oh, that's a good question.
In my opinion, I'm gonna have to go with PG. Okay.
Well, okay.
Yeah.
Let's eliminate the name. What's the best rookie class to you?
The best rookie class to me is Easy's class.
Easy, Sick, Kid Chaos, Jay, Swamp, Ace,
Lou Castro, Don Marino, Fonz. There's a lot of, like, don't get me wrong, like, there are guys like Briz in them classes undeniable too, but if we're gonna be real, like the stars from that class was 3 of them.
There's just 3 of them. Yeah.
Chess, Top, and Briz. Which that's strong as hell right there.
Right.
You know, But
right.
you know, in the class, you know, I'm talking about now. You talking about Easy, Swamp, and we got to remember too. Like when you're saying, I know you took the title off, but let's just bring it back for the sake of conversation. You talk about PG class, so I always try to make sure that when we're comparing class to class. We're not comparing Fonz's success today in this moment to Brizz's success today in this moment.
Right.
Of course,
right.
Brizz is far ahead of Fonz at this moment. But maybe Fonz's career, you know, this far into his career so far versus Brizz at the same point.
Yeah,
and that's just for the sake of conversation. I'm not saying
and I think
Brizz.
that's a fair way to assess it. It's not about, you know, where they ended up being. It's like at this point in their rookie time, like where were they? I think this last class of like Easy, Sick, and Kid Chaos and so on, I feel like because of the conditions that we were in, they ended up getting a lot of the names quicker. But what they ended up
break that down.
Hold on, because what they ended up doing with those names, that was what stood out. We got wins. It was wins in their rookie year against veterans, and I think that shit is important because I don't think other classes necessarily had all that.
Well, let's talk about that because sure. I wholeheartedly disagree. These guys took longer to get the names.
You think
Brizz and them class was quicker. You got to remember, T-Top did 1 PG versus City Towers. You know,
right? But then they did the tournament. But then they had the tournament, and then they was on stage against Clips and so on.
Yeah, exactly.
The next year.
And T-Top also had like 20 something battles before his
they was already running the circuit.
Well, listen, but we're not talking about what they did before they came here. We're talking about how quickly in their rookie year, how quickly they went from rookie to getting the name.
To getting the names, right?
Yeah, right.
It took
think about Kid Chaos and Easy. Kid Chaos battle did a PG the same night that Av and Nun battled. A lot of people don't know this. Kid Chaos is not new to URL.
Oh wow, I didn't know.
You know what I'm saying?
I didn't know that.
Yeah. You know, so who else? Easy the Block Captain was doing PGs in the Honeycomb Hideout.
He's been around. He's been around for years.
I'm talking on URL. He's not new. So you got to think about from when he did that first PG, took him years, not a year, not 1 year, not 2 years to get to what y'all see now. You know, him and Big Hand were both battling in the Honeycomb Hideout around that. And you look at Nun just now hit the Gnome stage.
Just now.
So this is what I was saying. Like when I first came on, a lot of people only see the finished product. They don't see that they forget the journey. You know. So
if we say Sick and Jay the Nightwing, like those guys, for instance, right? They came to the platform. They did the Ultimate Madness, and then they got the names. And within a year span.
Sick, would definitely he falls into what you're talking about. So
like
Sick had 1 PG. And then I put him into Ultimate Madness, and his next battle after Ultimate Madness was Chiller Jones. You know? No. Was it? No. His next battle after Ultimate Madness was B Magic. Then it was Chiller.
I ain't gonna lie, Tone. I kind of agree. I agree with P because the only thing I would say about the PGs from that era is they had YouTube. Like, you know what I mean? YouTube was like a free promotion, a promotional tool. These PGs right now, they don't have that. Like they got to really work for their fans. There's a lot of people that don't even know who they are still.
But that's why I said that they had to win and do well in those battles even more because they didn't have the YouTube, like, the big drop and all that. So these battles that they got, I know it's a lot of fans like, they were spoon fed. You know what I mean? But what I will say though, if you're gonna say spoon fed, okay, cool. But look at what the outcome was. You got Easy coming away with wins. Sick got wins. Kid Chaos got wins. Like these guys won and did well in their battles. So I'm not gonna you cannot knock that though. You can't.
Well, I'll say this because there's pros and cons to both ways. So if we're talking about Brizz and them class, like Brizz and them, I feel like they got to the names quicker than anybody else. You know, like I said, T-Top battled City Towers. He went through UFF, and his first battle after UFF was Charlie Clips.
Charlie Clips, yes sir.
One PG.
They all lost that night too. I'm gonna come. That's just it's that wavy. just so we put it in perspective, they did. They all lost.
I thought Clips and T-Top was bad. I just didn't like the battle at all. Didn't even matter who won.
Yeah.
To me, same thing for the Briz and
Verb
battle.
Yep.
Same thing. Of course, Snow, he definitely took a bad one that night. John and Prep was good. But I had, John won. Then you had Suge and Saga. Great battle. Had Suge winning, but Saga still did his thing. And then, of course, the Wavy and K-Shine battle.
Right.
Wave, Junction Scissors, Wavy took that one too. But think about that. Wavy did his PG versus
Boom. Adi Boom.
Yeah, Kaboom. Yeah, Adi Boom.
Adi Boom. Yeah.
Then he goes.
I forgot about that.
God, that was crazy. He didn't even have a beard back then. But yeah. Go ahead.
then he hit the stage for the first time. Now his second battle on URL, he's on stage. Born Legacy 1 versus Prez Mafia. Right. The next time you see him, he was on stage K-Shine. That's one PG. Open up on the stage. K-Shine. 3 battles. 2 battles in K-Shine. Chess, we took, I think, Coliseum Battle League footage for his PG. You know what I'm saying? Shout out Coliseum Battle League. K-Sleeves and Blackbeard. But we took that footage. So Chess didn't even have a Black Star PG. Went to UFF. Next time you saw Chess, he was on stage with DNA.
Fair.
Briz had Young X. No, he had Show Off. Then you seen him versus Young X.
Yep.
Next time you see him, he was on stage with Averb.
Yeah.
Briz is
after UFF, but yeah.
Yeah, after UFF, and then after Averb, he was on stage with Tay-Rock.
Right.
Look at those names that they're getting that quickly. Now this is what I will say, because I don't want that to sound like they had it easy, because they definitely didn't.
Yeah.
Because they were getting thrown in the fire, like the guys that we have.
Yeah.
The process is longer, so they get more time to develop. Briz and them, they just got dumped in, sink or swim. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Okay. Let me ask you a question. Being that you kind of like, I would say, like, responsible for, like, a lot of, like, finding a lot of the new guys and, like, giving them opportunity, whatever the case might be.
Hold on. Let's clarify.
Yeah.
I give opportunity. I don't find
opportunities. Yes.
You
give opportunities to the new guys. You found them. Do you think the new guys, when it's all said and done by the end of the year, do you think that they will finally like that prestige that they can't beat the old guys? Do you think that will finally be a way, like that?
I think
narrative.
I think it's a way right now. I think it's a way right now. Right now, it's a way.
Yeah.
Why you say that?
And because when I look at the polling, there was a point when I used to run polls on the URL Twitter account. It didn't matter how good a new guy was. If the poll had him against a veteran, he was losing the poll.
I remember that.
Period. Now you look at the polls now, it's almost the opposite. When you see a new guy versus a veteran guy, most of the time in the polls, you'll see that overwhelmingly the new guy's beating the veteran. The fans are starting to transition and gravitate more towards a lot of the newer guys.
Because I was saying, because it seems like every time we get a card and the old guys the newer guys facing the old guys, like the newer guy kind of has, like, a tough night, with the exception with, easy to block captain obviously is the difference, but real sick K-Shine, none Danny. So that's why I was just asking that, because it seemed like when they go against the old guys, they still kind of have a problem.
I wouldn't say that. I think you could name a couple cases like that, but for the most part, I wouldn't say that. And let's talk about Danny. Danny is actually was with Briz and Wavy and all of them. You know what I'm saying? Danny's just older in age when it comes to URL. You know what I'm saying? Right. He's an older MC with age. He's like Moon, for instance, right? Not saying that he's the same age as Moon, but he's definitely not a rookie in battle rap, but he was a rookie to the league. You know what I'm saying? Danny came to URL the same time Briz and Wavy and all of them came. So,
but I don't think Danny was Danny kind of, he was kind of building a name for himself kind of already before he came to, he was battling Times Square. He was doing a lot.
Just like Briz and T-Top. Just like Easy the Block Captain. Easy the Block Captain been around just as long as these guys were talking about. He's not new.
Okay.
The fans are just seeing him now.
Yeah.
Same thing as Snake Eyes. Snake Eyes will tell you he battled on the block with Rex and them, and he was around. You know what I'm saying? But he's not new. Like he was around back then when Rex and them was around. Y'all just didn't know who he was then. You know what I'm saying? So it's all about timing at the end of the day.
I gotta ask this because shout out to where I'm at. It's probably about a block away from Yankee Stadium. Shout out to New York City. Number one, do you feel like there's a drought on New York City talent? And number two, do you feel like, what do you attribute that to?
That absolutely was too fast.
Yeah, very fast. Holy shit.
I mean, he didn't even finish the question.
Let's talk about it.
I don't think it's tough. Like, I think it's obvious. Name the new guys out of New York that are new, like that are bubbling, that you hear their name a lot.
Like new? Not really. Yeah. It's few and far between. Like, but what I would say though, like if you look at like the Ish Mullahs, for instance, right? He always comes up as a guy that people
which
felt
is
like
not new.
From the city is fire or whatever. So wait, do you think it's a talent thing, or do you think it's just a lack of like you still got your old guys? Yeah,
no, I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna tell you what I think it is, and this is not blanket. It doesn't apply to everybody, but there's two places in battle rap culture that you can be a star in like in that bubble, and that's New York and LA. You your name can be known worldwide in them two cities and not really have like achieved the success of being on the Gnome or Summer Madness or big cards with URL.
Right.
Like let's take somebody like Brooklyn Carter. Everybody knows Brooklyn Carter. Everybody knows him.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But he hasn't necessarily achieved a certain level of success here on URL yet. Right. And I think, and if you notice, a lot of the New York guys, or even the LA guys, they don't. I say a lot. No matter get offended. I didn't say everybody because I'm pretty sure there's an MC saying, "No, that doesn't apply to me." I'm sure it doesn't. It does not apply to everyone, right? Okay. But if you notice, a lot of the New York and West Coast MCs, a lot of times when you see them battle, they'll be battling home. T-Top and Briz and them had to do a lot of traveling all over the place, all over the country, because North Carolina is not like New York City where you have an abundance of leagues to be at. You know what I'm saying? Like, just look at like how dense New York City
but it's hard. It's harder to make it in New York. That's
I would say like that. I was gonna get the concentration of talent in New York the small leagues in New York are fierce, and I've been everywhere, every small league. The concentration of talent in New York is
but different. It's more opportunity. You know what I'm saying? Like if you have 100,000 people in 10,000 leagues versus another league that has less people but maybe one league. It's less opportunities to give out. Give me when T-Top and them was coming up, what was the primary league in North Carolina?
That's a good question.
But the difference with that is, I was going to say the difference with that is the thing about T-Top, when he was coming up, he had the support of his hometown. He had the support of his people. In New York, they don't really support their people like as if you were coming up in the Carolina or like a Houston or somewhere. New York, we ain't gonna fuck out here. They don't fuck with you until you already made it.
Well, I mean, y'all got the barrels. Brooklyn support Brooklyn. Harlem support Harlem.
Nah.
P, that's not how that's
a lot of those leagues are put together damn near off of where the league exists at. Like we talking about T-Top just now. Like T-Top made his bones on Spit That Heat. I'm not saying he started at Spit That Heat, but a lot of people know him from Spit That Heat, him and Briggs. That's not in North Carolina. That was actually in Atlanta. T-Top's from North Carolina.
Yeah, but that's still you know what I mean? That's still considered like the South. Yeah, that's still
the concentration of stuff is so it's not, you know what I mean? So they had to work together back then, right? So they had to all be like, well, we from the South, so let's
they didn't pull exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
But what the point that I'm making is they didn't have the luxury of going to another borough in the same city and having another opportunity with a different league. Like you could go to We Go Hard, you could go to Trap House. You could go to Coliseum.
Bless the mic.
Bless the mic. Like this.
But them places ain't messing with you unless you got a buzz already. Like you can't. Like if I'm a random whatever, I can't just wake up. I want to battle rap. All right, let me go to spit. Let me go to They not I battle. They not. Yeah. They don't work like that.
So what makes you think that spit that heat works that way?
It's the concentration of battlers. You just said.
I mean, what I'm saying is the statement that you just said made it seem like, well, it's hard to get opportunity in New York City because of the concentration of MCs. But in the South, it's been easier to get the opportunity.
I mean, the South is on record, even in regular hip hop. The South is on record for supporting each other in New York. Look at what Conway just came at Funk Flex for the same exact reason. We don't support each other.
Okay, so let me just get to this point. Then. This is the point that I was making. We were talking about New York MCs, and one of the things I think is an issue, because you can be a star in New York City and not really have to go anywhere else, right? You end up getting used to catering to your audience. Right?
Okay, yeah, this is the meat and potatoes here. Yeah, let's get to that.
Yeah,
I agree
when you're from the South, the Midwest, because you can't just be a star in the culture and just be in St. Louis and don't go anywhere else. It doesn't work that way. You have to travel. You have to go to guerrilla warfare. You have to go to Black Ice Cartel. You have to go to Spit That Heat. You might have to stop in Philly and go to Battle Academy. You might have to do something in Houston Barcode, right? So they're the battle rap audience, the culture, they're being seen and accepted in more places. T-Top, they saw him in North Carolina, but then they saw him in Atlanta. Then they saw him in Houston. Then they saw him in Milwaukee. Then they saw him in Chicago. By the time he gets to URL, he's not new to the fan base. But in New York City, these guys, Brooklyn Carter at the time was way bigger than T-Top when T-Top first got to URL. Before he ever did the City Towers battle, right? People knew Brooklyn Carter, not T-Top, right? And like I said, you could be a star there and not really have to see how they're going to react to you. I mean, we haven't seen Brooklyn Carter at the Riot yet. I wonder how would he do at the Riot versus how we see him, how he looks at We Go Hard. So I haven't seen him on Bullpen either.
But okay, let's. I get that. So the New York City guys.
And let me say this too, real quick. Let me say this too, because I can see the comment. I can't see him, but I'm gonna pretend like I can.
Oh yeah,
right? I am not saying that Brooklyn Carter would not have done well and can't do well if he travels. I'm simply saying that we have not seen it.
Sure.
Just because we have not seen it doesn't mean that he can't. I'm just saying we haven't seen it.
But you would hold so you saying that the New York City guys, the thing is, a lot of them aren't really building outside of, and this doesn't apply to everyone, of course. Shout out to the people it doesn't apply to, but a lot of people don't travel, right?
I seen Benji travel a little bit.
But then if you say, okay, so and so is from LA and all they battles is on the Riot, are you holding them to that same standard, or are you just saying that for the New York City guys?
I mean, if you look,
if I battle in New York City and I hit Coliseum, Trap, I battle, and Bless the Mic, that's 4 different leagues. I mean, we can say what we want, but that's Harlem, Staten Island, Queens, and Brooklyn. That's like battling in 4 different cities, in my opinion.
And you can be the king of New York. And you can be the king of New York.
Nah,
you can do that.
That's not.
That's not New York, though. That's 4 big leagues.
That's like 4 major cities almost.
Listen. Every time all 4 of those leagues, those artists were battling in front of a New York fan base.
Not all the time,
right?
Though.
Yes,
not all the time.
Look,
if you from Harlem, and you got a battle out in Queens, you're not gonna have the same type of. It ain't gonna be.
Listen, what I'm saying is, it doesn't matter. Like when you see someone perform who's from We Go Hard, right? And then there's an MC who's on Bless the Mic, right? These MCs don't look totally different. They don't sound totally different.
Fair.
You know what I'm saying? But like I said, T-Top and Brisnan were traveling all over the place. They know what it's like. They've been battle tested in front of different audiences that are just not used to them. You know what I'm saying? In New York City, man, people know who Swag Tanner is. It doesn't matter what small league it is. Everybody in New York City knows.
That's not true.
Who don't know who Swag Tanner is?
I'm gonna come clean. So I didn't know who Swag Tanner was until Tone introduced me, and I'm from York. I didn't know who that was.
And this is where I'm getting to.
Until I see him versus Easy.
I think the perceptions of New York City are not correct, bro. It does not work. You cannot. First of all, you can't be king of your fucking borough. Like, good luck being king of your neighborhood. Like, it's not like that. It's not 95, bro. Like, and New York is big and diverse. They don't. I'm telling you, battling on those 4 leagues is like battling them 4 different.
I'm gonna give you another example. Let's go in hip hop now.
Sure.
Mano and Uncle Murder. These are New York artists. Of course, right. both from Brooklyn, right?
They only popping in Brooklyn, though. I'm gonna come clean.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is,
Mano popping all over.
I just did that to piss you off. But go ahead.
Listen, these guys have a distinct New York sound, right? A distinct New York sound.
Sure.
Right. And it's very, very recognizable. But New York City is being the hub and the mecca. It is. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to. Uncle Murder, how many platinum records he got? None. But we know.
I don't want to say none.
I think the New Year's shit went gold though. Like every time you got some bitches. But yeah, that's about it. You know,
but in New York City, he's a somebody. He's somebody in New York City.
Sure.
Now he goes to Arizona. It's a little different. But J. Cole, doesn't matter where J. Cole goes. No matter where he goes, he's somebody everywhere. And don't get me wrong.
But guess where J. Cole had to come? Guess where J. Cole had to come to get everywhere?
The irony of you saying that is rich. Look, he got popping in New York City.
I'm not saying you're wrong. Listen. Briz and T-Top had to come to New York City too.
Right.
This is not meant as a slight towards New York City. The point that I'm making is there's a distinct sound that encompasses New York. That sound can live in New York and be big. But what a lot of New Yorkers don't understand is outside of that bubble, it's not perceived the same way. Because they're not seeing that because you didn't come and perform. Because they're not coming and performing.
I think I'm gonna put on my biased New Yorker hat. I'm gonna just say I feel like there's a perception that New York has had it easy over its time of hip hop, and because New York was running hip hop for so long, that now the tables have shifted to where the expectations, the evaluation, the way that people assess talent. Now, when it comes to New York City, is held to a different standard. This idea that New York City, and you said it, and a lot of people in the chat agree. New York City is not one big thing. I'm from upstate New York. New York City is 5 different cities. Like you know what I'm saying? Damn near Staten Island is a whole nother state. So it's not like that. And I feel like people carry these notions about New York City,
but you're looking at it from the wrong perspective.
Applying the battle rap.
You're looking at it from the wrong perspective. You're breaking it down regionally like that. What I keep saying is there is one distinct sound from New York City.
You think so? You think all the
listen.
You saying all the battlers sound alike?
No. Listen. The way y'all rap, the slang you use, the way y'all talk, how y'all dress.
Bruh.
People know New Yorkers when we see New Yorkers, bro. Y'all some of the easiest people to pick out. Especially when you're out of your element. Yes. And y'all make sure to remind wait. And y'all make sure to remind us every fucking 5 minutes that you're
the New Orleans niggas do too.
They do.
No.
So do Atlanta.
Now listen, the New Orleans niggas and the Atlanta niggas, they don't gotta do because as soon as they open their mouth, you know.
Exactly. That's the same thing with New York. But they gonna tell you they from New Orleans.
How Steam start his battles? I'm from Brooklyn.
Facts.
And nobody do it like we do. And don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with having that type of pride. The point, like you guys are missing the point, right? The reason why a lot of the other artists from other areas are succeeding more are because they're tested in the markets. Battle rap culture is not New York. It's all encompassing. All these other guys are not becoming stars in their city. They're going there to somebody in their city, and then they're going to Alabama. They're going to Tennessee. They're going all over the United States and battling. You're seeing these guys everywhere. So you got to remember, when they hit the URL stage is not a New York stage. It's a world stage. The world is watching. You know what I'm saying? And they're not seeing.
But URL kind of. But they built they whole prestige from being a New York stage.
No, they did.
Yeah, we big New York Day, baby.
Listen. Was Aver from New York? Was Aver from New York? No.
No.
If Aver battled SB in Atlanta, nobody cares about that battle.
But it's the okay. But now where's SB and where's Aver?
But the point is that moment is not big if it's in Atlanta or anywhere.
Look what you're doing right now. You're doing what New Yorkers do.
If you ask A-Verb this,
let me finish. Let me finish.
See,
but you're discussing something that's not even up for debate. We're not debating what New York did for someone, where somebody had to go. We're debating why are artists outside of New York prospering more than the ones who are from New York. And the answer to that is because the guys outside of New York are having to travel the world to get popping. So they're catering to the entire battle rap audience. A lot of the New York artists are staying in New York and only catering to a New York audience. Then when they hit our stage, they have trouble adjusting to the worldwide audience. That's the answer to your question, in my opinion. It doesn't have anything to do with, I can admit, I had to go to New York to get popping. It's a New York league. I'm not from New York, from North Carolina.
Right. I think that
like you say something like people they quick to jump up and throw that.
I'm not. Listen, I'm not defending New York because I ain't gonna front. I don't really. I don't see
we have the same issue. Yeah, we come up here. We talk about New York City this way. We're very critical of our own scene, but in defense of such, I had to understand from you: is it a talent drought? Is it but the whole traveling thing and getting popping outside of your market, very valid in this day and age. And that's and that's a fact.
It's crazy. Look what that did for Snake Eyes.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Snake Eyes hit the road.
He went on the road for a year and a half.
And look what it did for him.
Exactly. But see,
like
and
underestimate
that point, I agree with. That point, I agree with. Totally. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. See that, and that's what I'm saying. Like a lot of guys in New York City, you don't have to leave, and you can still be somebody.
Right.
In battle rap.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Right. When you're in Alabama, you can't just battle in your home league in Alabama and think that you're going to get
And I would say the only way that then I'm reactivated is if I see some guy who's out of LA. He only has battles on one league, hasn't met the criteria of being able to travel, be out in other places, and you guys end up making a move. I'll be like, well, P, you just told me that this guy gotta be, you know what I'm saying? What's the travel? We ain't see the work travel yet. You know what I'm saying?
Give me an example.
That's the only time where I had to come back and be like, yo, what are we doing? You know what I'm saying? No, I can't because it hasn't happened yet. But I'm just saying if there's a guy who only is known for battling at one league and then gets to look after that and hasn't traveled around, then I gotta be like, well, damn, what happened? Because you said the New York City guys ain't traveling. What's up?
No, it don't get me wrong. It probably happens, but very, very rarely does it happen. Most of these guys, like you said, the Grizz and T-Top, bro, these guys, Grizz had almost 30 battles before ever did one URL battle.
Yeah.
But go on his verse tracker and look at the leagues where he was battling. When he got here, man, like he appealed to everybody. He appealed to everybody. Everybody understood. They seen him already.
Yeah. We got 411 in the chat, man. Make sure y'all hit the like and things like that. Really helps us out.
I see a caller right here.
Yeah, we got the link out there. So before we get my man Shotgunner up here, man. Shout out to Shotgunner. You know my rules, man. You know what I mean? Put the phone horizontal, get off the McDonald's Wi-Fi, wash your face, and be respectful. All right. So that's how we do it up here. All right. So we're gonna get my man Shotgunner, Rochester, New York. What up?
What up, my boy?
Gunner, what up, man? What up? You home,
what up?
What's good, bro? How you?
Big salute, New York.
I
Big
see
New York
you.
energy.
Yeah,
Look,
as soon as he came in, he had to make sure we do.
I'm gonna be rapid fire. Salute Polo. Shout out to Brooklyn. You know what I'm saying? Salute Tone, bro. You already know where we're from, upstate. Man. Shout out to all 5 boroughs. Shout out to upstate New York, man. P, man, you kind of confirmed what I knew already. I knew you hated New York, respectfully. So, I mean, at the end of the day, only thing I can speak on is like I can't speak for the 5 boroughs, but you personally, you never came upstate. So to make your assumptions that nobody in New York is doing anything, that's kind of false.
Wait a minute. See, I'm very particular with word choice.
Oh yeah.
You said nobody. I never said. I specifically said this does not apply to everybody.
Okay.
Did I specifically say that multiple times?
He did.
You said that, but
yes, multiple times.
Okay.
And but what you heard was nobody. That's what you heard.
I like this. Oh yeah.
See,
I never said that. No,
okay,
but still, that's not. But still,
okay,
that's not. But still, if I specifically say that this does not apply to everybody, and then you come in and say, well, first of all, you can't say that nobody why I know I can't say that because that's not what I said. But go ahead.
Okay.
Well, what about the
right,
upstate thing? Go ahead. Do that.
Yeah, that's where I'm getting to. I just feel like you eliminated us by, you didn't say nobody, but you personally, I don't know for sure, because I'm not in your body, but I know for sure a representing the URL, somebody else, and I'm not gonna mention them on this platform, but somebody else came upstate.
We talking about North. We say his name. He came up here. North
came I can tell you why. But listen, I'm gonna cut you off right there. I don't come upstate. I don't go anywhere. You've never ever seen me host anything. I do not scout talent.
That's a good point.
I don't scout talent, so you're not gonna see me anywhere. That's not what I do. Right? Just so you know, wait, hold on. Just so you know,
right?
Crucible Scouts, Troy Martin, right. New York City. Out of the Crucible Scouts, and Tone, you know this. New York City has an overwhelming majority of the Scouts. Overwhelming.
It does. But honestly, I feel like, and I'm glad Shy is on here. I feel like upstate is being totally neglected in this whole process.
Of course, bro. That's why I'm here. That's why I'm here, because first of all, shout out to On-Site Battle League. First of all, let's get that straight. Shout out to On-Site Battle League. You know what I'm saying? Like, we come from the ground up, bro. We drive 6 hours, bro. 6 hours to come to a URL event. So it's kind of a little harsh that it's like, you know what I mean? A lot of people, even from the city, we fight, bro. They big brother to us. We got to even fight hard. They consider us, be honest, Polo. They'll say we not even from New York. You know what I'm saying? Like that. And so that's what we fight for, bro. So we fighting. So you got a lot of hungry cats up there fighting for just to be accepted by Polo Town. You know what I'm saying? Like just to get the respect from Polo Town. You know what I'm saying? Like that's real talk. You know what I'm saying? So
who Chase Papers from upstate, ain't he?
Chase Papers from upstate.
Absolutely.
Shout to God.
Top 10 God.
They
Rest in peace to MYJ, Tone, bro. He just lost his life.
Yeah.
The other day. Rest in peace.
Nah, I ain't gonna lie. It's a long line of callers right now. I want you to get your main shit off real quick. You know
I came here to be rapid fire. I ain't see y'all in a minute, man. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, Gunner, I appreciate you for pushing it upstate, man. Real talk.
Hey, yo, appreciate y'all, man.
Hey, Gunner, before you go, once again, Tara from New York, Troy Martin from New York, Dutch Keep It a Buck from New York, Thesis from New York, downstate. There's plenty. The other states don't have multiple people. Like not even two.
They only focused on the 5 boroughs, though, Pete.
That's a fact, Tom. And before I get out there, just to respond to that point, I'm not saying you got it. I'm saying you saying scouts, but like, if we're a team, I'm not going to mention my guys, bro. I'm gonna just take accountability and acknowledge that we didn't highlight that area because you mentioned the names and saying it's not me, but you're a part of the team. So.
See, but that's the thing. This works like politics, bro. I do not put my finger on the scale to influence anything. If I gotta do that, then I might as well go do the job myself.
Well, let's change the prep. Just you don't have to do anything for me. You don't owe me no loyalty. But let's try to change it today. Come to upstate.
Listen.
Come to upstate.
Go to the URL. Crucible page. Go to the URL Crucible page. And they got every scout up there. They have their contact information up there, and reach out to them.
Well, y'all gotta pull it upstate, man.
Hey, Gunner, we got to transition more. You know what I mean?
I'm ready.
Yeah, just hit them up, hit the scouts up, and I ain't mean to cut you off on your rest in peace and stuff like that. I'm a little ahead on that.
You good, rest in peace. Upstate, salute. Salute, man. Shout out to Brooklyn, upstate to the city, man. Upstate to all 5 girls, man. New York, we gotta stick together, man. This is why we gotta stick together, man. This is why. Because they playing us. They taking our flavor and they playing us.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. This is ridiculous. But salute to y'all.
We gotta move on. Big salute to you, brother.
Yo, salute. All right, Joe Boogie, man. What's up, man? Talk to me.
Joe Boogie.
What up? Can y'all hear me?
Yes, sir. With P.
Okay. This is Joe Boogie. I'm from Atlanta, as you can tell. I'm from the South.
And I just got tied on too, nigga.
Huh? He is from New York.
Look, I'm in the car right now. I just want to let y'all know. I think y'all not understanding where P coming from. You know what I mean? Down here in the South, I know y'all talk about like, oh, the 5 boroughs and like those different cities. That could be applied to any major city. I'm from Atlanta, so you got to think like we got the West Side, South Side, North Side, East Side. You know, that's like 4 different cities. If we had a league in each one, it's still Atlanta. It really don't matter. Everybody's still gonna be coming from Atlanta. So when y'all say we got a league,
wait, hold on. I just want to say one thing though. Population size, Brooklyn is bigger than Atlanta, and that's just one place in New York. That's just saying.
See, but what I'm saying is this, and this is what New Yorkers get it twisted at. And when he talk about how New Yorkers always talk about New York, y'all don't understand because y'all ain't from the South. We hear that shit all the time. New Yorkers bragging about how
y'all been running hip hop for the last 15 years, Joe.
Man,
what are you doing, Joe?
Let's keep it on the battle rap. I can go on and on about that, but on the battle rap stage, you gotta understand Atlanta only really have maybe 2 platforms. You know what I mean? And then I think Clone got one coming up or whatever, and that they working on. But he only really got a couple platforms to get known. If you want to be a battle rapper in Atlanta, you're gonna have to. If you can't get on Bullpen, you got to go somewhere. You got to leave the state.
Wait,
whoa. That's old, bro. You just told me it's 4 leagues in Atlanta.
I said,
Mackk is there every other weekend.
RBE is there every other day.
No,
fellas.
RBE is not a league that you can just jump on. If I got a buddy that's trying to get on battle rap right now. He can't just call ARP or Lawrence like, hey, let me jump on. It don't work like that. Just
listen, fellas.
P, go ahead, P.
Just because they have events down here, that don't mean that you can just easily jump.
Look, hold on. We're arguing debating something that was not even really addressed. Because we got some type of way we got stuck on location.
We did.
Right? We did. The question was, what I was answering was, why aren't the New York MCs having the same success that you see coming out of other regions? And my opinion to that reason why that is because a lot of New York is so big and there's so much opportunity there. A lot of guys are becoming stars there and not going other places. In the South, even being from a big city like Atlanta, you still got to go to Milwaukee. You still got to go to Houston. You still got to go to North Carolina. So the audience that they're performing in front of is much larger. You know what I'm saying? The New York guys are catering to a New York audience. Because I can tell you, the people in Tennessee, they're not really watching We Go Hard. They're not watching Trap House like that. You know what I'm saying? So that's the difference right there.
And a lot of the artists that you named, Pete, earlier, a lot of people down south, I ain't never heard of Swag Tanner. Whatever you say his name was. So I don't even know that guy. And a lot of the We Go Hard artists, we don't know those guys because they don't come down south and rap. You know what I mean? But a lot of guys
telling you.
If I see it, you're right. If I follow, like if I watch some, I'm really searching, just randomly watching. I see it. But other than that, them guys don't leave New York, and then they think they just the shit up north. But when they come down south, we don't resonate with that because they not speaking our lingo. And they talking about.
Well, when y'all come up here, y'all not speaking like us either.
Yo, Joe.
But it's a different tone.
Y'all biased, not us.
No. Tone, hold on.
No, we got a lot of callers.
They speak is receptive across the board.
Hold on, but listen, Tone. You just said, but you're not catering to us. They never needed to.
I didn't say that. Never needed. I said.
Hold on, yo, Joe Boog, salute, man. I want to get no other callers in here, man. Definitely.
I want to address this point
to Joe because he said when y'all come down there, we don't resonate with it because y'all not speaking our language, nigga. When y'all come up here, I want to get like y'all country as hell, but you're open ears, being receptive to y'all.
Look, you're right, but look, this is the difference. This is the difference. Even if you guys weren't receptive. Y'all are only one of 50 states. If the other 49 are
whole weight, don't do that.
But listen,
that whole weight. I want to get another call in.
I'm not saying that it doesn't hold weight. What I'm saying is y'all represent a very small percentage. Y'all like the percentage that New York fan base holds of battle rap culture is not nearly as big as y'all think it is.
All right.
Oh man,
hold on. I
on.
think New York City, we got to be less accepting when these country niggas come up here and rap.
Let me get the next Hemi.
Really, when we go down there, I get it.
Where you from, bro? Where you from, bro?
I'm from Milwaukee.
Milwaukee.
Okay.
That's a fact. So listen, I feel like this. The reason why New York don't get as much love is because by the time we hear these niggas, y'all already shit on them. Like we don't know who a swag 10 is because niggas don't shit it on the nigga already. So by the time, listen, like in order to be fired to come from New York, you got to be stainless. Like, and ain't too many niggas stainless from New York.
And that's crazy. That's crazy. That's a man from Milwaukee.
If we could call Swag Tanner right now, right, and get him on the line right now, he'll tell you. Ask him what advice did P give you, right? I said, bro, get out, travel. Because like when you come from New York City down to Virginia to perform on Band Legacy, right? That's not a Virginia crowd, bro. That crowd is people who drove from North Carolina, people who drove from Atlanta, people who drove from Tennessee, people who drove from all over. You know what I'm saying? Like in New York, you guys are used to having a concert at Madison Square Garden. And everybody jump on the subway to go see. I think it's easy. It's easier to see stuff.
I don't think that's the problem because I feel like New York shit translate everywhere. It's more so that these guys have a bad reputation by the time we hear them. Listen,
because the standard is
I don't think so.
That's by the time I heard of Gwitty, they said Gwitty.
I don't think so.
By the time I heard of Gwitty, he had a reputation of stinking. I didn't even know this nigga had bars. I didn't even get a chance to hear Gwitty bars. Nigga just said Gwitty stunk. Like, that's the first thing I heard of this guy.
You're stupid, bro.
I'm just being honest with you. So what I'm telling you is that their reputation translate before we even get to hear the bars. Because listen, Loaded Lux don't change up. Murder Mook don't change up. These guys are in their same pockets. When we hear them.
I didn't expect you to do this, Henny, but I like it. All of it.
And let me say this. Maybe if I break it down this way, it'll help a little bit, right? Briz, person sees him for the first time performing in Alabama, right? The crowd looks at him and goes, "Yo, this nigga's dope," right? Then Briz gets a battle with Houston Barcode, right? People see him in Houston, like, "Yo, this nigga's dope." Then he does the same thing in Milwaukee. He's dope. Then he goes to St. Louis at Street Stats and does the same thing. Goes to iBattle and does the same thing. Then he gets the PG on URL, right? Now you got to remember. Now the world is watching. Look how much of the world have already seen Briz and said we like him.
Okay.
Now hold on. Wait. Hold on. Okay. Now let's go to Swag Tanner, just for an example, right? We didn't see Swag Tanner in Houston.
No, you picking and choosing though. Let's go back.
Listen, hold on. Let me finish. Let me finish, bro. Right?
Yeah, you gotta let him go.
We didn't see Swag Tanner in Houston. We didn't see him in Milwaukee. They didn't see him in Florida. They didn't see him on Body Bag. So when he debuted on the URL stage, New York City was very familiar with him, right? But the rest of the world wasn't. They don't know we don't know your catch slogan. We don't know your phrases. We don't know what your click. You saying this is my click. You got this 5-minute slogan at the end of your round. We don't know none of that stuff. You know what I'm saying? But we were very well versed with Briz before he ever touched the URL stage.
But it's different though because Briz and T-Top is the first people from where they from. Now, if we take it back and we take it back to when people first started listening to battle rap, we didn't care where Loaded Lux was from. We didn't care where Murder Mook was from. We were just listening to that shit. We was getting the DVDs. We didn't care where any of these MCs was from, and we were listening to it.
Once again, bro, you're addressing something that's not even being debated. You're talking about where people are from. I'm not talking about where they're from. I'm talking about the amount of visibility that a person can get. It doesn't matter if you're from Tennessee. The person from Tennessee has to go everywhere. He can't stay in Tennessee and become a star. In New York City, you can stay in New York City and you can be somebody. Gaddafi Green,
Pete, you good.
Fettuccine 20.
He's good. Green, this guy's
Presidential
good.
Dubs. All of these guys are somebodies, bro.
He's funny.
People know these people. Look, think about this, Tone, bro. Think about this.
This guy is good.
Listen,
let him go, y'all. Let him go.
Think about this name that I'm about to say, and you know it's true, bro.
Sure.
Siraj Juhur.
Siraj Juhur
he don't even battle like that, but that nigga's
he's
people know him. They know him.
Yeah.
But where's his battle?
Slave guy?
Yeah. See, but you know that. But I get you. You can't tell me who Milltown's guy is.
What you mean?
You know what I'm saying? The point that I'm making is, bro, it's easier to get worldwide acclaim. It's the Mecca You know, it's easier, and you don't have to go out and about as much as other people do. So now when you get on the worldwide stage and you have to appeal to the world and not just New York City, this is why you're probably not seeing it resonate the same. Right?
So who do you feel like is that way? Like who do you? Because I want to know. Like I don't.
Let me have you seen? Bro,
and I see you. We got callers too. I see y'all.
We don't have to do this, bro. Like, do you think about the people? And this does not. I don't know all of these guys better. I don't have their verse tracker pulled up in front of me, bro. But I know it's not common that you're gonna see Gaddafi Green on Black Ice Cartel. It's not common that you're gonna see Fettuccine 20 on Houston Barcode.
No, but I'm asking who are these people from New York that's getting on the main stage that are not translating? Like, because I feel like a person like Mr. Wavy is from New York. He was trying his hardest to translate, and I feel like that was messing up Mr. Wavy. Because when Mr. Wavy was New York Mr. Wavy and he was punching, he was Mr. Wavy. Now Mr. Wavy trying to translate and try to sound like everybody else and trying to make everybody feel him. Now we got hit or miss, Mr. Wavy.
I wholeheartly disagree, bro. If you and I know Wavy personally, if you know Wavy personally, bro, Wavy ain't changing shit for nobody, bro. Nobody. Yeah, I know him personally, bro. So you're absolutely wrong on that.
Listen, I feel like every time I see Mr. Wavy, he was different.
Well, he might be different, but it ain't because he's trying to appeal to somebody. He's his
so
own
then
man,
what is
it? Here's where I go back to, right? Because I get going on the road and doing all that and appealing to different audiences. I feel like me personally, and I've been everywhere, I feel like a guy from down south or the Midwest can be a Milwaukee nigga everywhere and get love, right? Like I feel like with New Yorkers, because of perception, and again, P, I have to go back. There's certain anecdotes that you saying. It's just totally like this idea of New York City is not. It's somewhere else. But I'm just saying that I think that with New Yorkers though, you being a Brooklyn person everywhere, people like, oh nah, that ain't gonna work. But whereas somebody could be from where they from, and yo, I'm a LA nigga everywhere. Gotti, Geechee Guy's a perfect example.
I don't think
the first time I seen Gotti, he was like how he is now. He's more polished now, but he's always Compton. That's a dude from Compton. That's a Crip everywhere. That same brand and it just worked. Like it wasn't he came to the city and we was all like this. Like,
listen,
nah, that Compton shit ain't gonna work over here.
The fans,
when New York City niggas walking the room, it's like, oh, he think he one of those. Fuck these New York City niggas.
The people who come to We Go Hard events, I guarantee you, are very similar to the people who go to the Trap House events. The fans that attend and cheer, those people. So the battlers are battling in front of the same type of audience over and over and over again, right? They're not standing in front of a bunch of country niggas who's saying, impress me, New York nigga. They're not doing that. But if you're on the URL stage, which is the worldwide stage, you're going to have to impress some of these country niggas. You're going to have to impress some of these West Coast niggas. You're going to have to impress some of these Mexican niggas. You know what I'm saying?
Fair point, P. Fair point.
Yeah, I'm gonna get this last call in. Fair point. Cause we got a lot. He tried to get up here a few times. I'm gonna get this last call in.
Hold on, listen. Mark my words too. Mark my words.
I got you, bro.
I can't wait. I didn't know we was gonna get into all of this. But oh my god. Look, after this interview, I'm not getting on social media for 2 weeks because I already know. There's a line of New York. Look, listen, there's gonna be a line of New York niggas.
Oh yeah,
they probably angry fan inbox right now.
Oh, they got the Timbs on right now.
Yes.
You gonna ruffle some feathers.
Listen,
honestly, P, as my job is to be an evangelist, and I gotta be honest. I feel like New York City needs to wake the fuck up, right? Like what we pointing at is there is a lack of unity and of acceptance of pushing what need to be pushed and shit like that. It starts within your own house. So I want to activate them. Hell yeah.
What I'm saying is, like, I'm gonna receive that backlash. When it's a lot of it is going to be just like kind of the guy who came on it first and said, well, you're saying nobody. I didn't say nobody. Right. And I'm not talking about New York City. I'm not talking about New York City and director. You're asking me, why are the New York City artists not getting on like where we see what's going on in other places? In my opinion, I'm stating this again, my opinion is, right? And remember, this as well, when I state my opinion, it really doesn't fucking matter because I'm not a scout. I don't even choose the people. I don't go this guy from New York and this guy from Houston. I don't do that, right? So I'm telling you right now, I don't even influence that in the first place. That's what the scouts are for, right? I'm simply
Will you
saying,
ever get to that point though?
Where?
What? I'm
Where I
sorry.
do what?
I'm sorry, I cut you off. You simply saying what? I'm sorry, I cut you
Well,
off.
no, I'm just simply saying that people who come from places of less opportunity have to travel and be seen in front of much different audiences. So by the time that they finally hit the worldwide stage, our stage, they're appealing to more people already because they've performed in front of so many different types of crowds. The New York City crowd is very similar. No matter what league you go to, the crowds are very similar. Yes. Right? Ciroc, you heard, goes to everything in New York City, bro. Everything. You know what I'm saying? Bless the mic. Like, it's the same type of people. So you're battling in front of the same type of person. So do you really have to diversify what you do that much when you're only selling to one customer? No, you don't. But when you're from in other places, I got to divert. Okay, I can say this in North Carolina, but now I'm in Houston. Now I got to do this. Now when I'm over here, I got to do this. So by the time you get to the worldwide stage, you're very comfortable doing that. You've been doing it damn near your whole career. That's all I'm saying. And once again, that does not apply to everybody. Presidential Dubs, all these niggas, please leave me alone, man. Please.
It's Two-Some. What's up with you?
Two-Some.
What's good with y'all? What's good with y'all, man?
What's going on, brother?
I wholeheartedly agree with what P saying. Being from the South, a battler from the South, we absolutely have to travel to these different places. And when we go to these places, they cheering for their hometown. They not cheering for us. So we have to do that shit every new place we go to, impress a new crowd. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So I wholeheartedly agree with what he's saying.
Yes.
So
Brooklyn Carter. I'm sorry, bro.
Real
quick. Brooklyn Carter at We Go Hard, when he goes and takes a battle with Trap, and he shows up and gets on stage, he looks into the crowd. He's seeing mostly the same faces, the same people. You know what I'm saying? But when the guy performs in Houston Barcode, boy, that's you. Tone, you've been down there. It's a totally different crowd than what's in Atlanta. It's a totally different crowd than what Geechee got at the Riot. It's a totally different crowd than what's going on in Connects in Kansas City. You know?
Yeah, New York is harder.
Hey, Two-Some. You said you a battler down south. Like, where exactly and what league are you affiliated with and all that? Like, what's the scene like where you at? What's up?
Oh man, look, I'm out here, Louisiana, Miss Slaughter to be exact, right across the water from New Orleans. You know what I mean? Flatline battlegrounds, state to state. Whenever I travel to St. Louis, I fuck with them heavy. You know what I mean? The stage in Mississippi, I go everywhere because, like P said, we have to. There's not many opportunities down here like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Now let me ask you a question.
If you and all that, you know what I mean?
if you become one of them dudes out where you from, don't you feel like the area is gonna get behind you and push you?
Yeah, absolutely. Okay.
We
definitely.
I'm telling you is that's not the case for New York City. I'm telling you that's not the case for New York City. It's cutthroat. Like, it's so many different ringers, man. Everybody,
but that's because that's where it started too, right? Like, that's where it's the mecca of battle rap at, and so that's where it's the most competition. Because out here we don't have that many battlers. That's why it's not that many opportunities because it's not that big of a. You know what I'm saying?
But that's not even what we're debating. We're not debating whether your city gets behind you because of where you're from. We're debating appealing to a worldwide audience. New York MCs are primarily appealing to the New York crowd, no matter where it is. It's primarily them. They're not traveling and letting the people in Omaha, Nebraska see their talent. If you're from the South, you're traveling and people are seeing your talent everywhere. So when you get to the stage, you're appealing to more people because they've seen you before.
Right.
Two-Some, salute.
Two-Some.
Hey, I wanted to ask a question though. I had a question.
Yeah, get your question.
Damn, man, yeah.
Since I was talking about the South,
go ahead. Yeah.
I wanted to ask P, how long do you expect the Crucible process to go since there aren't that many opportunities in these other places?
I'm gonna keep it a bean. Like, right now, we're still working that out. The season 2 of the Crucible is taking way longer than it should have taken. You know, we're working the kinks out. It's still new. We're still working the kinks out and everything, but it's rolling. We got a plan, but we just want to make sure we could just throw some shit out there, but we don't want to do that. Whatever, we want to put our best foot forward. So that's what we're trying to do now.
Well, I appreciate y'all creating that opportunities for the people outside of New York. You know what I'm saying? Because exactly what you're saying is why we need that. You feel me? So I appreciate y'all having me on, man. Appreciate it.
Salute. No doubt, P, I'm not gonna lie, you're good.
Yeah. No, he's great.
You could have been Tyreek on Power Lawyer, and he would have been out of here. Method Man, I'm sorry. Tyreek could be on this interview right now. God damn.
This is great. And this
I'm a stickler, man. A lot of people I be watching, and I don't really like to do this. Tone, you know this. I really don't like to do this type of stuff, but sometimes the narratives get a little bit crazy, bro.
Hey, 430 people disagree, P. They like seeing this.
Look, the sad thing is, bro, I'm gonna pay for this, bro. My piece.
Nah, you not.
I got 2 weeks. I got 2 weeks. Watch. I got 2 weeks of interviews on Angry Fans Live. Shout out to Caps. I'm staying off social media for 2 weeks. No matter what I say,
P, you don't got nothing to worry about. I want to let you know something. It's really cool to not like New York City.
Yeah, everybody hate New York.
I don't know what this is, but
it is what it is. They're gonna love you. They're gonna be like, oh yeah, P told Polo and told.
Exactly. But objectively though, you made some great points here. You did.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, just for sake of conversation, I'm from well, I say New Bern, North Carolina, but I'm not from New Bern, North Carolina. I'm actually from Vanceboro, North Carolina. But I always say New Bern, North Carolina, because nobody knows where the fuck Vanceboro is.
I don't know.
Like we only put shoes on when we got to go to the store. You ain't go to the store, you don't wear shoes. It's that kind of country. Now, that being said, I grew up idolizing New York. Favorite rap group of all time is Wu-Tang Clan. Nas, Mobb Deep, Biggie, AZ, all of that. Big L. That's me. You know what I'm saying? I'm not a PD Pablo fan. I love New York City. You know, but it's the people tell us who they like.
It's true.
We can hear it.
That's true.
You know, I don't like hearing A-Ward all the time. Like, A-Ward's driving me crazy hearing that name. But he's doing his fucking thing. That's why I'm hearing his name so much. You know what I'm saying? Just so, if somebody, why the New York City guys?
I mean, we still run the game, though.
No, listen, this is what I'm saying. A-Ward has no URL battles, and look at him. Why are the New York MCs not doing the same thing?
Mm-hmm. Okay. That's fair.
I mean, we technically still run the game. It's just the newer New York guys. I guess that's what y'all talking about. But in my mind, we still got chess. We still got every damn battle in the world calling out Loaded Luck. We still got the number one guy, easy to block captain, turning down 3 people because he wants to battle Murder Mook. So we still technically on top right now. I'm just saying.
Yeah,
I'm not mad at it.
But you know, I think conversations like this are important though, because even if we check in every now and again, you know what I'm saying, because just to get the state of affairs, right? I think these conversations have actually helped us out a lot because it's dispelled a lot of myths that people have about the process, about what you guys are, or whatever. I think people position URL as the big boogeyman, and it's really not that simple.
It'll be something new tomorrow. They're gonna take this interview and dissect it and misquote, misrepresentate a million different things. You know, remember I'm DMV biased, so I'm not even from the DMV.
Oh well, we're compromised media. So you know, it's gonna be a guy that at 3 o'clock in the morning, him and 25 of his friends and family.
Tone was on some bullshit where he let P off easy. Why did you ask him this?
To 25 people.
As if I'm only up here to get raked over the coals. That's my purpose for coming over here.
They said A-Ward in the comments. I don't know if it's really A-Ward.
Yes, no, shout out to A-Ward.
Oh, it is A-Ward. Hold on, wait.
A-Ward, what up?
Oh, it is A-Ward. Okay.
I ain't that famous. I don't got any imposters out here.
Nah, because we be having some trolls. Man, what? Forget all that. What's up with you getting on URL?
No. We're not talking about that. I don't want to talk about that.
I don't want to talk about it either.
No. I wasn't coming on here for that. I wasn't coming on here for that. I actually like the topic y'all was talking about.
Okay.
Listen, A-Ward, if we was going to talk about that, we got phones for that, right?
Yeah, definitely. I didn't come on here. I didn't come on here for that. I know people, it's the inevitable all the time, but I really like the topic you was talking about because I knew that I was from a low market area. You know what I mean? So
and you had to travel, right? You had to travel everywhere.
Yeah. That's why, like, when I went to Toronto for King of the Dot, like, I spent like $1,000, so I was not gonna stumble over one word. You know what I mean? Like, it wasn't happening.
War, with all of your travels, and I'm sure you've traveled and maybe have some New York artists on the same billing. Do you feel like overall it's more difficult for them to translate in these different markets when you see them actually travel on the road? You would know.
It's weird because it's easier for them to get recognized, but more difficult for them to translate. So they have They have so many leagues, right? They have so many leagues, and like they can literally every weekend, if they choke one weekend, be like, all right, I'm on the trap next week. I'll go make up for it. Let me just hop on the train.
Hold on. Hey, well, say that again. Did you say it's easier for them to what and more difficult for them to what?
Get recognized. It's harder for them to translate.
Which adds up to what I said. If you can be a star by being recognized, but have difficulty translating to audiences outside of New York City.
And the reason I think it's harder for them to translate is because I think they get recognized and they get lazy, they get big-headed, and they like, well, my city, my borough knows me or whatever, and then they get to the point to where like they don't feel like they still have to work on things, or I just go be myself and rap how I rap. You know what I mean?
I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this about what A-Ward just said too, and I'm digging the hole deeper for myself. So I'm gonna go right, but he's right. I deal with these guys. Some of the most difficult guys to bring through the process are the ones from New York City. They're some of the most difficult ones, not because they have bad personalities or bad behavior. It's not that. Like they do a certain thing, and we're trying to coach them to be like, yeah, that's cool. But if you want to translate everywhere else, you want to have to diversify and do something. Nah. This. Because it's so successful in that huge fishbowl of New York City. It's so successful there.
There's like a sense of entitlement. They got that sense of entitlement. Like
they really believe they don't need to change anything.
Yeah. And so when I first started battling on the Connects, I did my first battle was a 3-round battle. Then I did a 1-round battle. And like, bro, everybody in Kansas City's calling me out. Like, yo, who are you? I'll smoke you. I've been around for 10, 15 years. Yeah. And I told him, I'm like, bro, my goal is not to be the best in Kansas City. Like I'm not even getting in the club for free. Like nobody's going to recognize me being the best in Kansas City. You know what I mean? Like, what's that do? My goal is to go be the best in the world while this melting pot of battlers in my local scene are all just arguing with each other in Facebook groups. You know what I mean? And so that's why I felt like, I was just always working on my craft. Like, okay, I'm going to Toronto. I battled franchise basically on beast mode, on day 3 of King of the Dot in Toronto in front of all of his group. You know what I mean? And I'm like, yo, like, I got to be locked in. I got to earn this respect or whatever. And I feel like sometimes with the New York guys, they get big on a certain league or whatever, whether it's We Go Hard or Trap, some of these things, they get entitlement and then they get thrown on these cards and they're just another guy. And they're like, oh, I thought I could come rap here and somebody was going to gas me like they've been rapping me back home, and it's like a reality check to them.
Okay. I mean,
you got to remember, you guys got to remember, you guys are New Yorkers. Y'all don't get to look. You don't really see from our perspective.
I'm from upstate New York, man. We are totally different. I keep trying to tell you, Pete. New York is not.
New York. One place in New York is like 3 states somewhere else.
Like think Northern Cali versus Southern Cali. That shit is not the same.
Listen, you're doing it right now. And you don't even realize it. This is what New Yorkers do. They have to specify everything about where they're from.
No, this is what out of towners do to New Yorkers. Y'all trying to make it seem like we specifying something when it's really y'all.
Listen, look, you're telling me right now about how different it is. I just explained to you how I told you that I'm from New Bern, North Carolina.
No, Vanceboro. I took notes.
Yeah. And so, but I'm willing to tell you that I'm from somewhere that I'm not. Why? Because that sense of pride of where I'm from doesn't really exist. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't exist at all. It doesn't play a part. I'm willing to claim something that I'm not even from, just so you can understand better.
Gotcha.
Yeah. But tell a New York guy that he's from Queens and he's actually from Brooklyn. Oh, that might be a death sentence.
But you're talking about but wait, I'm gonna be honest. I don't really feel away in this convo because, like I said before, we technically still run battle rap right now. So it's like we still on top. It's just the new guys is having trouble, but the old guys ain't having no trouble.
Even that statement.
New York. So why would New York still run battle rap? I'm confused on that.
Because every Loaded Lux, every person in this era wants to call out every person from New York. Easy, the block captain, called out Murder Mookie. He said he don't want to battle DNA. Go ahead.
No, but that's because they want easy battles. Like those dudes are not battling at a high level right now. You know what I mean?
God.
That's a fact, bro.
Hey, Tone, listen.
Damn.
I'm not scared of Murder Mook or Loaded Lux, and Easy's not either.
Hey, look, Tone, fellas, look. I'm gonna do myself a favor. Sure. I'm gonna get off here before I cause more trouble than I already caused. Nah, I see where this is going.
Yeah,
I got got A Ward on here with his opinions.
I'm on my best behavior, bro.
Yeah, right.
You ain't gonna get nothing.
I don't think this
I want to hear this.
See, my wife at work. I'm eating with a plastic fork and hamburger helper. My wife at work. This is what I'm on tonight. I'm about to write this one around her.
Hey, well, hold up. So you saying that the reason why New York guys is getting called out is because they easy to beat?
Yeah, those guys are right now. Yeah.
I'm out of here.
Yeah. Wait, hold up though. Hold up before all that, because we gotta let P get his salutations and things like that. Ward,
Ward, don't go nowhere.
Appreciate you, A Ward, things like that. But we gonna let P get his ice and stuff like that.
Take me up. Yeah.
So P, what's up, man? Like, you know what I mean? Tell the people, you know what I mean, what you need to tell them before we get up out of here. Things like that, you know what I mean?
No, we're gonna stay here with A-Ward for a little bit.
Yeah, we're gonna stay with A-Ward, but I wanna let Pete get his salutations before we go.
All right, so I just want to say, listen, man, I love everybody. All the New York MCs, Blackbeard, City, Steams, Zeus the God, Hallelujah Jones, Fettuccine 20, Gaddafi Green, Brooklyn Carter, Sir South,
Fire,
Kush Clap. Everybody, man, I don't have a problem with y'all. I was asked my opinion, and I gave my opinion. It's just opinion. It does not mean that it's right, right? Mm-hmm. And even if you feel like my opinion is inaccurate or invalid, that's cool, because the great thing about my opinion, it does not affect opportunities, right? Mm-hmm. I do not scout. I don't scout. So the scouts, when we do the New York region, we have 11 scouts. Each scout has to pick 2 people that come from that region. They have to. It doesn't matter whether they like somebody that's in LA. They can only pick those LA people when we go to LA. So regardless of how you want to cut it, the New York region will get 22 opportunities. The same as LA will get 22 opportunities. And when we're in New York, guess what? The judges in New York are from New York, primarily, or what we consider the New York region, mm-hmm. right? Remember, Swave was on there. He was on there as a judge when he was in New York. But so I just want to make sure, and I know it's crazy because that's not even going to help anyway. For all the people who didn't hear already, A Ward jumped on. Shout out to A Ward, right? A Ward is fire. I do not need any comments to say, when y'all gonna stop playing with A Ward and get him on URL? A Ward will be on URL when he wants to be. Mm-hmm. Not when I want him to be. He's his own man. When he gets ready to be on URL, that's when he will be on URL. Mm-hmm. Nobody's holding him back. Nobody's got a gun to his head. None of that. We can come to terms. If that day ever comes, that's when you'll see him on there. Yeah. Right. And as you can see, A-Ward, we do not have a bad relationship, and we have never had a bad relationship. And they're still saying in the comments right now. You probably can read me a couple of them. Like,
you hating on A-Ward? Nah, but
there you go.
But yeah, P. This is always great to sync up. A lot of gems. A lot of people gonna probably eat off this interview for a week, but it's cool.
Oh my goodness.
But P, I appreciate what you do, man, and I know personally that it's not an easy task, bro. So I appreciate it. You've learned things along the way and gotten better, and keep your head in the fight, bro. You know what I mean? That's what it's about. All right,
yeah, man. Hey, don't title the clips too bad when y'all put them out.
Oh, we won't.
Come on, man. I'm telling you,
it's lazy. Peace.
Hey, P say these niggas New York lazy.
All y'all legends is washed.
All y'all rap about is chopped cheese. That's what I mean. Salute, P.
Big salute, bro. As always.
All right. All right, folks. Appreciate y'all.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
No doubt. Big shout out. Big salute to my man P. Yeah.
Yeah, now I gotta hold on, man. We gotta get this guy A-Ward up, man.
Yeah,
we gotta. He just said some statements. I gotta
unpack it.
I gotta unpack that.
Yeah.
Can you pull him up? Because I don't know what's up.
I got him. War,
what up, bro?
A-Ward. Rebuttal game crazy. Let's
yes, sir.
Hey, A-Ward, what you meant by New York is easy right now? I need that.
No, so I meant, so like if I'm easy, right? Like to me, Lux and Mook are easier battle than DNA and John John.
Lux and Mook are
easier. How is that?
Well, because there's not been a Lux or Mook performance in probably the last 5 years that has scared me, like me personally.
Okay. Well, all right. I can't speak to what scared you, but Mook and the
wait.
Mook Tay Rock, like to me, like Daylight versus Tay Rock was scarier than Mook versus Tay Rock.
Oh,
okay. I'm thinking like actively, like I see guys, you know, like a DNA or a John that are active, and they might have something to prove against Easy. Like some of these guys that are like our pioneers and stuff, like they don't approach battles anymore like they have anything to prove.
Okay.
And I haven't seen like a
to be fair, this is about New York legend. I mean, you said
they're legends, yeah.
John and DNA rather than Lux and Mook. I mean, they're all four from New York. So I don't.
Right. Yeah. No. So I didn't mean to compartmentalize it to specifically New York. What I was we were talking about Mook and Lux. I'm like, you know, those guys, you know, because like right now to me, like Sue Surf is like a dangerous battle. Right? Like I think Sue Surf is like one of the only guys who's in his prime currently. You know,
they want K-Sean to get you out of here.
Okay. I mean, look what he just did on the battle. Like, I mean, come on, that's a valid thing. That's a valid thing.
That could have been you.
I'm gonna be honest. See, I'm one of them forensic fans. That's what I call it. I'm a forensics fan. When you was battling Reed, we go hard.
He turned up, bro. All three of his rounds after that.
K-Shine's face when you were snapping, I'm like, oh yeah, it's a certain level of respect there. And I'm not. Listen, I love everybody. This is maybe some conspiracy theory shit. I don't know the inside. I know that K-Shine left that battle and was like, oh yeah, because I
hope he was encouraged. I hope he was like,
yeah. That's what it looked like to me. But
yeah. No, I mean,
be careful how you speak about New York, because there's still some killers walking around here. Still some killers walking around.
Still sharks in that water, like I
didn't mean to like generalize the whole New York thing, but it's more so to me like the vet type thing or whatever. Yeah. Like some of these dudes get to a point to where their name is where it's at, and it's like if they feel like they don't get nothing from battling you, they bring in you a 6.5, 7 point effort, you know, out of 10. Yeah. And you know, Geechee's kind of in a weird spot right now where I think he's kind of coasted a little bit in that aspect, you know. And I think that battle like Geechee and Hitman Holla might get you back to a Geechee that's like a 9 or a 10, you know. But like battling some of these other guys, whether it's a name like a Hollow or not, like I think that Geechee feels like a certain way. He's like, you know what, like I'm Geechee, you know.
Do you think that because of recent battle outcomes or recent cards that the perception now, because before it was that we kept our legends in like these shiny cases, like Star Wars collectibles, like Mook is always going to be Mook, Lux is always going to be Lux. Recent things maybe have added a little bit of a, you know, the allure is not quite there. Is it true amongst people, your peers, right, that are really, really good at this shit at the top of their game? Is it true that allure is gone now? Like that's not the case. Like we've broken down. Like it's still Rex, but it's not like like that aura is gone. Like like what do you think about that? Like,
definitely. I mean, this is the only real. I mean, I say this is a rarity in a quote unquote sport where, you know, all of a sudden the Jordan can come back and play against the Currys. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And then you're starting to look at them like, oh snap! Like Curry just hit like 5 threes in a row. You know, like hey, that person's normal. You know what I mean? You don't get that, you know, with anything else. And a lot of the reason I was respecting Lux heavily over Mook at times is because he came outside and he battled some guys, and I felt like Mook was staying in that shiny case. You know what I mean? But yeah, I definitely feel like, you know, guys like, you know, I mean, we're just so more advanced, man. Like there's just so many more cameras and so many more battlers, and you're starting to see that like there's talent all over the world, you know. And now it's kind of like, you know, once you get to that certain spot, you know, if you got your name up, like you can kind of coast, you know. Which is a beautiful thing with me not being on URL yet. And I'm not saying that I joined URL 3-4 years ago, I'd be like, you know, face or star, nothing like that. Sure. But like I still battle at all times, but like I still have a lot to prove in battle rap, you know? And I think some guys get to URL, they get a big name, they start getting on these battles. Now they battling every 2 months and they making great money. That's their full-time job. And it's kind of like, all right, what am I still doing here? You know, I've already battled these people. I've already won a tournament. I've already gotten this amount, you know? Like, why am I writing it, you know?
Right.
I got a question. Okay. So I recently was in Spaces and New Jersey Twerk was up there, and somehow, some way, Anwar, I don't know, I believe Anwar dubbed the battle. Is that still something that you interested in doing? And why did that battle get dubbed? The Twerk battle?
Yeah, so you know, obviously the history of me and Twerk's battle or whatever it was, you know, we were supposed to battle at one time. And so then now here we are a couple years later. And there was a tweet that was put up that did have nothing to do with me. You know what I mean? And it was Twerk saying something about he'll battle Stumbles. There was an open hardcore belt. Like Surf was saying like the hardcore belt's open or whatever. Yeah. And so I just responded to the tweet and I was like, yo, we can go ahead and get that battle in. You know what I mean? Like
fire.
Twerk told me on the phone back when he decided not to reschedule on URL, like, I'm going to battle you, you know, I'm just not going to battle you for my return battle, you know, when he was after his car crash.
Right.
So Anwar responds and says, I just got off the phone with Twerk, you know, whenever he was incarcerated. Twerk said he's with it, you know, Midnight Madness, what up, da-da-da-da. Like, cool, I'm all the way with it, you know. So then it kept going back and forth. Now, I was going back and forth with Anwar because one thing I'm not going to do is talk trash to somebody that's incarcerated. I got way more respect than that. I'm not going to be tweeting Twerk saying, I'll smoke you, this kind of stuff. You know, that doesn't make, you know. So I'm going back and forth with Anwar, you know, kind of telling him how I feel about different things or whatever, you know, kind of feeding into the battle to kind of get it some hype.
Yeah.
And I guess from what he says, is that once like Midnight Madness, I guess, is no more, that, you know, Twerk says I'm not battling him on URL, and that's the only place I battle. I was only going to battle on Midnight Madness, so since it's no more, it's dubbed battle. So then I'm just kind of like, oh, okay, you know what I mean? Like, all right, you know, like, I guess I'm to each their own. Like, I'm not a URL battler, so in Twerk saying that he's, you know, that's the only place he was going to battle me was like a Midnight Madness joint, and he's like, you know, Anwar's not a URL battler, so Anwar dubbed that. We had a whole promo, like me and Anwar supposed to go back and forth on DNA's Good Morning Show, whatever. That'd
been great. That'd have been great.
They had the flyers and everything for me, you know, they sent all that stuff, and then man, listen, like, there's just then the next, like, an hour later, it was all dubbed, so I was like, all right.
I respect the business. I respect the decisions, but as a fan, I just be like, man, like, come on, man.
Is that something? Okay, so say that is like your premiere battle URL. Is that something you would be open to? You versus Twerk?
Of course. Yeah, of course, yeah. Yep.
And that's something you'd be willing to. I don't really even think because from the energy from P, it don't really. I don't really know, but from my guesstimate, it don't really sound like they really want you on contract like that. Like, I don't know. It sounds like you kind of got a little leverage.
Yeah, man. Listen, like, there's stuff for the cameras and there's stuff for behind the scenes. You know what I mean? And so yeah, you know, like, I don't have no problem with P. I you know, like, I don't have no issues with him. You know, but I just know there's definitely a disconnect back there. You know what I mean? And I don't know whether it's with him or who it's with, but there is completely a disconnect back there to the point to where it's affected a lot of different things over the last 6 to 8 months. You know?
Right.
Say the contract is Twerk, None, and Rock. Would you sign that contract?
Easily, bro. They never offer me like no battles contracts. You know what I mean? Like, that's never been an option. So it's like, you know, I haven't been offered anything like that in a year, you know, and I think what Pete said was correct, was when A-Ward wants to be on URL, he would be on URL, but I think they are kind of waiting on me to like break down and reach out to them and say, yo, I want this battle, or I need this battle, or whatever. So kind of a little bit of a like a oh, who's gonna call who first type.
Yeah, you know? a little bit of a chess, little shell game. But
you know, the
reason why it doesn't make it any easier on them with the work that you putting in. Like, you can't, you know what I mean? It'd be one thing if they would just hear your name and there was no work behind it, but it's like they hear your name, then they look up and they see you going crazy at read.
It's also difficult because I feed into like storylines and like the banter back and forth, and sometimes it appears like, yo, Ward is like, for lack of a better word, shitting on URL, but I don't feel like I don't feel like I necessarily shit on them. I just don't subscribe to the like, oh, this is the only stage that matters, or I won't like, I'm not feeding into all of that. You know what I mean? Like, when you have conversations with me, you're like, yo, I'm kind of like a little bit of the devil's advocate, you know, and I'm saying like, I love the battle over there, but like, I feel like I'm just as good at doing and proving myself just as much as them. Right. So sometimes like in that back and forth with their battlers, you know, it comes across as like, I'm like an anti-URL guy. So then it puts on their plate like, yo, do we really want to reach out and offer this kid a Summer Madness, or do we want to pay him, you know, thousands of dollars when we feel like he's been an advocate to like, you can do it without us? You know, which I can.
Exception to the rule. You're the
right, and P will tell you that too. Like, and I tell people all the time, don't follow a Ward's path. Like, I'm somewhat of an exception. Like, these up and comers, like, bro, don't look at me and try to do what I'm doing, because this is not easy and it's not been done. You know what I mean? Like, staying this relevant. You know what I mean?
You got one. I'm sorry, Tom. Real quick, before I forget this, it's one person that could kind of, you know what I mean, and like it's a Big K. What's up with that?
Yeah, we're trying to get that. We're trying to get that locked in. You know, that's what I wanted to Max Out 3 originally. you know, and I'm not this kind of guy, which I could be. Big K's been very underwhelming to me lately. So part of me was like, do I even want Big K max out 3? If there's any way I could get Clips, Hollow, or Shine, you know, or Calico, I don't know, like their statuses on being able to go, you know, how it is these days with, you know, RB, URL.
I think the guys you mentioned, they can do what they want. Like
exactly, that's what I was, and I wouldn't even ask for a guy that I didn't feel like could do what they want. You know what I mean?
Right.
So like, I'm like, dang, max out 3. Wouldn't I rather have like a battle like that? But I'm also not that guy because I've been asking for Big K. Just because, I mean, he has been, to me, his Reed battle, his 40 cal battle, like they're just kind of underwhelming. And I feel like I'm still like performing at a very high level, you know?
Yeah,
I'm like,
Reed battle was crazy.
Yeah. And Big K, I feel like regardless of if he's going to complete the objective, right? Like he'll complete it, but it's not crazy. Like I don't think he's gotten crazy with anybody in a while.
Yeah.
But he is, but if he has an angle, he like Ken Shamrock in that bit.
Yeah.
So
that's true.
I just don't.
I have not even told on anybody in so long. I haven't even said, "Yo, such and such didn't flush in the bathroom at work." Like I didn't even do that. You know what I mean? Like I've been.
You sure you ain't telling a deacon or 2 at church?
Right? Yeah. Hey, man, he took a little bit out the plate, man. He took about 100 out the plate, man. Y'all check his pockets.
if Loso and Mackk Myron happen, and you get the battle on that same card, who would you battle with?
Av, I'd like to battle Av on that card. That'd be a fire card.
Yo,
you almost made me throw my hat.
Yo, I got my hats here. I'm gonna throw all the hats.
But this Black Compass, I can't throw it. But still, that'd
be a crazy card.
Yeah. Tag
Mackk
Av
Myron
right
and
now.
Loso on the same card as A Ward and Av.
Yeah, that'd be fire.
Shut it up.
Yeah.
Shut it up now.
Right.
Damn.
Shit.
Yep.
Yeah, I got.
That's another battle that I think that would be a fire debut battle that I would be totally fine with. You know, is the Av battle. You know, like I do like something like that. I think it would be a crazy battle.
In terms of most dangerous that you
like the boogeyman.
Yeah.
He's like Candyman right now. Nobody really want to battle him except Hollow.
I know, right?
Is it currently objectively? Do you feel like who do you think is excluding yourself, I guess, right? Because you probably would say yourself. Who do you think is number 1 in Midwest right now? Number 1.
Oh wow. Probably Calico, man. I think maybe Calico, like
over JC.
Over JC.
JC. Okay, so yeah, I mean, I guess with what JC has just recently done, like I probably shouldn't put Calico over him. You know what I mean? If I'm going off like material on performances, I don't think the JC that won the tournament, like I didn't see a performance that I thought was like on like God tier level from JC. And I'm not saying he wasn't great. I just was like, whoo, I didn't see something like 3 full rounds of like, yeah, that's unbeatable type stuff. You know what I mean?
Right.
I felt like Calico versus Geechee and Chess. Was that his last 2 battles?
Yeah, man.
I just felt like he was very, very comfortable, and he was kind of getting towards that. Remember, I was saying like I think Surf to me is like the only guy who's like operating in his prime from like those guys, and I think Calico was kind of getting very comfortable in those 2 battles, and I'm like, yo, I think that he really could do some damage. You know, if he gets Clips in the Clips battles like the way he's been battling lately, like that could be like that could be a really top tier like type battle of the year joint.
Scary, a tougher battle, I guess, for mental preparation for you. Lux in the small room or Surf in a giant 3,000 room venue?
Oh, it'd be Surf. Yeah, it'd definitely be Surf. Like,
definitely.
I don't like how fast you just answered that.
Yeah, he did that quick.
Why y'all feel like y'all could just walk through loaded Lux? Why y'all think it's just gonna be this easy? I don't get it.
Well, one thing about this is like a small room, like you could be losing in a small room and it don't feel like you losing. You know what I mean?
That's
right. So I could be losing a Lux and I could be rapping my tail off and I could get back and be like, dang, I did lose that battle. You start losing to somebody who's just talking about having tar on the backs of their shoes for no reason, like, and like the whole building is just like screaming at you, like it could go downhill heavily from there. I'm just saying.
Come on, you know that Tar Heel ball was crazy.
Yeah, I'm about to say that Tar Heel ball was
real quick, what you said that was better than that? Real quick, off the top of your head, what you said that was better than that Tar Heel ball?
What did I say?
Yeah.
Oh, like 7 things against Reed, easily.
Yeah.
Yo, A-Ward is funny, man.
That man's dynamic, though. Surf is just dynamic, man. Like, I mean, everything about Surf right now. He's writing at a high level. I think he's like hungry. I see him on podcasts. I see the music. I see like he does so much for URL. You know what I mean? Like he's literally operating as like just like I don't want to call it face it, but media wise and everything. You know. So I don't think he ever wants to be on camera looking like a loser. So he's writing as if like I'm always having like I'm gonna have to get on my show tomorrow. I'm gonna have to host this. I'm gonna have to be here, that, you know, do that kind of stuff. So he's operating on such a high level as an artist on a stage. Like I definitely think, you know, that is to me like a more difficult battle.
You know, he's looking for some madness opponent.
Look, they don't rock with me, bro. They not calling me for no daggone Surf, bro.
Yo, bro, if that was on some surprise, like, hey, Ward,
that will break the culture.
The room is breaking.
And sure. I'm trying not to be like that guy, bro. Like I'm not trying not to be like the spoiled brat, but I'm just like, why rob the culture of that moment? Even though it's about me, right? It is about me. So it's like, yo, Ward, you're just trying to get the most out of everything. I'm like, but nobody's as anticipated as a debut on URL as me, probably, maybe ever, you know, definitely not right now. Yeah. So like, why rob the culture of that? Like now coming to the stage, hey, mess up my name, say Kansas City, the whole building's like, everything's like, you know, sudden down, you know, like it's just it's a fire moment, you know. But I think understand.
They putting it on you. I think they putting it on you for you to, you know what I mean?
No, they are, but they want to control that locker room, so they want to say, yeah, Ward, we'll get you there, bro. But you know, we got a locker room to protect. You know,
I don't think they'll do that to you. I think maybe last year, but right now, I don't think they would do that.
I think the locker room, if I gotta do the wrestling analogy, it'd be like, all right, Cody Rhodes, all right, like come, you know what I mean? Like, what you gonna do? You can't be mad. You can't be too mad.
Still some names. You ain't just gotta shoot for like you're all the way up. Even though I think Av is all the way up there, but
I think there would be a massive fan backlash if they put you up against Crucible guys at the start. Like that just doesn't make sense.
Yeah, you can't really do that.
Yeah, no, and that's not even. It's not Crucible guys. You know, and like I said, I haven't been offered a battle from them for a long time. A Wizard, yeah, that's what he would call me, the Wizard.
Smack can't wait to mess your name up, bro.
From Kansas City.
Yeah, battling Calico, A Wizard.
A Wizard.
No,
I see a lot of chess comments. I ain't gonna lie.
Chess, I think that's the
chess will be fire too. Chess will definitely be fire too.
Chess versus Loso is one of the best battles that came out there on that app. Like y'all, I was watching that the other day. That's a crazy battle.
Such a good battle, man. Loso really been putting in a lot of work, and I don't know if it's the Holmesy one rounder or what, but like Loso last year put in crazy work with a lot of really good performances. You know, and so I'm eager to see him get back into one of these events.
Do you got anything you want to shout out before we exit? We're gonna give you the ice.
Hopefully, man. I'm supposed to get a deposit tomorrow. That's a huge battle that y'all are gonna be like, yo, what? This is crazy. My goodness, like Ward that it again. So you know, that's definitely been crazy. Obviously, GTX debut August 5th is gonna be fire. I'm excited to go out to LA. You know, my poetry tour starts in September, so I'm gonna be not battling for about 2.5 months, September, October, and a week in November. So I'm excited for that.
Where's the poetry drawn? Take it like, what's the cities?
It's going everywhere, man. It's going everywhere, pretty much near wherever you're at. So we're doing, I think, 24 cities. So, you know, we'll be in KC, St. Louis, Memphis. We'll be in Jacksonville, Tampa, Orlando. We'll be in Toronto, Detroit, Chicago.
I'm sorry, I gotta take your ISO away for a second. Are y'all hitting the colleges? Are y'all hitting any colleges at all?
I don't know. We basically the way the tour works is we have to, the building that we rent has to have like a certain size LED screen, because a lot of the poetry we do is interactive with LED screens and different things. So they're only booked certain venues that hold up to like 1,000 people and has like the operations of different things. So I assume sometimes we'll be in like venues, we'll be in churches, we might be in some colleges, different things like that, whatever. But yeah, that's gonna be fun, man. Just performing in front of, you know, 24 different cities of a bunch of people that aren't necessarily battle rap fans, and you know, I'm excited for that. But yeah, man, I'm staying working, man. I really just been trying to load up the front of this year, because I knew I was gonna be gone September, October, and some of November. And anytime you like don't battle for 2.5 months in this culture, they're like, "Oh, where have you been?" You know, so. So I'm definitely working on getting this book tomorrow. That'll be a crazy big battle, and then I'll sell off into the sunset for a couple months, and then hopefully come back and see what we could do. I'm trying to get a battle on the Connects at the end of the year. You know, I ain't battled there since I battled Chef Trez, which is a really good battle. And so, yeah, man, just working.
No doubt, man. No doubt. A-Ward, big salute to you, man. Big salute to everything you're doing, man. Being consistent.
Yeah, that Av call out gonna make headlines. Yeah. Well, not really call out, but
yeah, he knows.
He's already writing that. You know, France, he quick. He already got the poster ready.
Yeah. France already. He knows, man. I didn't mean to bombard your show or whatever. I just, I was making some food and I popped up. I saw y'all were live, and then I was like, "Oh, this is a good topic," So I didn't,
Always welcome, and we got whole notebooks of questions for y'all. We write too, just like y'all. So
definitely, man.
We already had them on deck for you, bro.
Appreciate y'all, man. Y'all be easy, man. Take care.
No doubt. Big salute to A-Ward. Big salute to A-Ward.
What an interview.
This was dope, man. Shout out to P as well. You know what I'm saying, for doing what he does for the culture. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of things I talked about today. So you probably going to see a lot of bloggers, a lot of media. I encourage y'all, man, to talk to us about it. Hit us up, Black Compass BCM on Twitter. Everything that we do up here that's visual goes on the audio tip as well. So shout out to people that listen to us on Spotify, iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, all them different apps. Make sure you subscribe wherever you listen as well. That does help us out a lot. You know what I'm saying? So big shout out to everybody, man. I just, we got to a lot today, and people were asking about a show. Obviously, it's late. I
ain't gonna lie. This kind of cut into the radio show, but we'll be back Tuesday, and it's gonna be a lot more to talk about. And also, also cop that merch.
Get the merch.
Get the merch. Black Compass.
Merch. Oh, one more thing. I want to leave a comment where somebody left a comment at.
Let's go.
Now, I did get a chance to see, Easy the Block Captain's blog, stuff like that.
Oh, yeah, I definitely.
What I'm going to say is this, right? Now, on one hand, I don't necessarily care because I think that everyone's doing their job, right? You're not going to like everything the media says. And I do think when you get to a certain point in your career, there's, you want to shape the narrative and you got your fan base and stuff like that. So that's all fair. You know what I mean? Him saying his opinion about the fact that he feels like he won by a larger margin than what we think, right? That being said, I personally don't really care, bro. Like, I'm not going to, I can't make the margin of victory greater than what it was just because I'm not going to do that. You know what I'm saying? And on the other hand, there are battles that Easy has that I think that he won by a greater margin of victory than other people. So I think that's important. And then the other thing is, when people make these media call outs, it's just interesting to me because it just leaves out all the other accolades and the praise and the, the stuff like that. I feel like that was a little bit much, but I guess I'm not too mad. It just really seems like, it's a little bit of scapegoating in there. We media.
Yeah, so there's a lot of scapegoating in there.
Beat me up all day. You could kick my ass online all day. I don't care. I'm media. My job is to evangelize. All I'm going to do is go check out Easy blog about this. You know what I'm saying? So you go and you do what you got to do. But as far as I'm gonna just say it, I mean, some of y'all, I love y'all to death, but I've been dope at this, what I'm doing now, longer than y'all been dope at battling. So, and I'm just gonna leave it right there. I love everybody to pieces. I love y'all, and I'm always gonna support y'all. Y'all got it, but yeah, nah. I've been doing this now for about a decade. I'm not gonna get mad about nobody's opinion.
Yeah, I wasn't really mad at the.
I've been elite at this shit longer than y'all been elite at what y'all do. Like,
I think that get lost in transition. Like somehow, for some reason, I don't know what it is. People think that like we new media. Like we ain't been around. I understand. It's episodes in 2013 of us on YouTube debating battle rap. I got it to a whole
with thousands of people listening and some of the top battles, right? So So I say that to say, like, I
don't like that, and I don't, you know what I mean? I seen, you know what I mean? Salute the Caps, no problems at all. But I don't know. I don't think he was talking about us, but we don't code off on no type of comments to get interviews. You see how organic that just happened with A-Ward and P. Hey, that we didn't plan that. We ain't playing that. That just happened. Somebody was watching the show and seen a good topic and wanted to call in. We don't kiss ass and do none of that to get interviews. Like, so
never
like, that narrative, y'all gotta stop saying that. Like,
there's a lot of battlers I've told to their face that I feel like they might have lost the battle where the majority may feel like they won. And I got my opinions behind it. We keep it respectful, keep it moving. And, you know, we go get a drink. Like I'm not tripping. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I'm not tripping about that. Yeah, go ahead, bro.
Yeah, but I mean, off that though. I mean, we still.
So, yeah, I just seen that. And I was just like, because I seen like the comments on it too, because it's not really directed about Easy. Because look, battlers have to promote, right? And part of your promo, if you want to make the media or a media group the antagonist, do that shit. Like, yo, I don't like what Tone Bro said. That was trash. He trash. And here's why. If that helps you get your shit off and fans is gravitating towards you, do that. That's okay. I feel the same way about punchlines. You got a dope Tone Bro punchline, say that shit. I don't care. What I do care about is when we start to talk about, like, you know, integrity and, you know, who's been doing what and what, you know, I just feel like,
I don't like that when you mention shit like bias and niggas can't judge battles because they fanboys. Like, I don't like that. That's weird to me.
And it's
ain't nobody else you talk about judge a battle but me and this dude up here. So who we acting like we fanboys of? Please let me know. But that's something I just want to say about. But I'm not mad at. I didn't take it no type of way. I don't, you know what I'm saying? I still support Easy. I'm sure he still supports what we got going on. But yeah, I think overall though, there always comes a time in every battler's career and their progression where they have these skirmishes with media. It happens with everybody. That's a natural progression of things. So they trying to get a rollout, but either way, we ain't the company to get a rollout on. Do that with somebody else. It's plenty other media outlets, my nigga. Do that with them. We ain't the company to get a rollout off a media rollout because you want to battle Murder Mook. We ain't the company. Do that to other niggas.
Well, but here's the thing though. If he wanted to come up here and he wanted to talk about, you know, Mook, or if you wanted to promote something, we more than happy to do that. Even if you want to come up here and tell me why I was full of shit for thinking that Goods had the second round. But that's I don't
want to keep talking about that. Like Easy and that better happen. It's like
exactly. But this is to all the battlers, like, you know, we've been here for a while. We have. And for a lot of you guys,
for a while, you can search us on YouTube. We got over 7-10. Come on, we've been here for a while.
Yeah, and then one more thing for all the bloggers that struggle to get 2,000 views in a video. I don't have nothing for you, bro. I'm sorry. I want you to do better before I respond to your blog. So, yeah,
I don't even know what you're talking about.
I'm just saying because you know. Because they feel like, you know, entitled to something, but I'm not going to mention any of y'all by name. Y'all know who y'all are. Combined, y'all going to get less views on that blog than this fucking joint that we about to drop. So love y'all to pieces. Step y'all shit up, and then maybe we'll have I'm just saying, like, whatever.
Step your shit out and cut that merch, though.
I mean, putting Black Compass and Tone Bro in your titles is probably not going to help you. But, you know, thank you for that. But, yeah,
man, I ain't gonna front. I was ready for the radio show. I ain't gonna lie, niggas. It's kind of good we ain't do a radio show. Actually.
All right, no, listen. I'm gonna go and roll something up and drink something because it's been a long week. It's been a lot going on, but I definitely want to shout out all the fans who continue to support our platform. We fuck with y'all. Y'all already know a lot of y'all. Most of y'all
showed a lot of love. Y'all know how we rocked in the building. There was nothing but love.
Good vibes. I'm gonna be in VA real soon. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna actually be overseas with it too. So I'm gonna sync up with my man Tom when I'm overseas. I'll be out there in Ireland in October. So big salute to battle rap, man, the whole hip hop culture and things like that. And
I gotta get on that Ireland. Yeah. Tell you,
right.
I gotta get that. You ain't gonna try to sneak that in there. No, I gotta get on that Ireland. Set that up. I gotta get
and one more thing.
Niggas tried to sneak in Ireland. What?
One more thing. Twitter. You know, battle rap culture. I know we all, you know, hip hop is all ingrained in shit. This getting bored and just comparing Tupac to people, we gotta stop doing this shit. Stop, bro. Stop.
You know, niggas just like to troll, man. They get reaction every time. Tupac is one of the greatest of all time, man.
It's Tupac, Jadakiss side by side. It's Tupac, Young Thug, Tupac, NBA Youngboy. Tupac is a one of one. There will never be another Pac. The man died before, what was he, by 25? By 20, multi-platinum albums, 2 hit joints, 1 from jail, 4 movies, multiple companies, was about to start his whole conglomerate. There will never be another Pac. Stop comparing niggas to, like, at least start somewhere else. Why you gotta start at Pac? Compare niggas to other. There's so many levels before you get to Pac.
Mm-hmm.
Stop, bro. It's weird. And I'm saying it. Look, Pac from New York, but I know you represent. I'm New York to like. Stop, bro. It will never be another Pac. Ugh. It's weirding me out, bro.
Yo, listen, man. Salute to everybody. We'll be back. We'll be back Tuesday with the radio show next week with all the interviews. Make sure y'all check this out. This is like 2 hours and 30, so y'all could watch this tomorrow at work over the weekend. Get crazy. Go back, check the JC episode out. Right. The easy response episode. It's a lot we got out. So you know what I mean?
Whole lot in the tuck, man. Black Compass Media. We up out of here, y'all. Peace.